Hello, everyone. I will be today's guest host. My name is Ace, and we are on Team Oasis podcast season 2. And today, I will be interviewing SuperPhaze, and we've got a lot to talk about today, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, it's gonna be a good episode. Thanks
Yeah.
for having me
So,
on.
I mean, thanks for inviting. I guess thanks for inviting me for me to be on.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
you know, I guess I'll introduce myself just a little bit so everybody knows who I am
Yeah.
before I get into the questions. But I guess you could say, in terms of like the whole Team Oasis, whole team stuff, like I've been with Jace since the beginning. Not gonna lie, we
It's true.
I've seen him like basically make this entire brand from scratch, and
Mm.
it all started off in a simple Valorant game, like one simple
True.
Valorant game, and
Yeah.
pretty much like I've always been involved. I've never really been like the face. Like Jay's always been the face of everything, and I've always been there, supporting him, been there behind him.
Thank you.
He always asks me for like help and stuff. So in terms of like mine and Jay's relationship, I'd just say we're very close. We've known each other for like 3 years now. So
Yeah.
that's a little bit about me. I'm pretty sure Jay's gonna ask me some questions later for
Mm.
more detail, but in terms of like setting the foundations, yeah, like I've known Jay basically since the beginning. So this is my
Yeah.
first time me and him, like, I guess, talking well, not now, we talk about it a lot, but I guess officially, like, talking about how everything come to be, I suppose.
Mm. Yeah.
So I guess we start with the first question. Why or what inspired you to, start this entire brand?
SuperPhaze
Or
or like Team Oasis, like where do we
I'd
start?
say I say Team Oasis because I think the super phase and like the identity, like who you are, that stuff came
Mm.
after, like once you establish the team. But at first, it
I
always was
mean,
like
I was JPhaze, of course, you know?
that's true. I mean, in terms of like
Mm.
turning yourself into like a brand as well. Like like where you would do streaming
Mm.
and things. Like
Yeah,
we
yeah,
did
yeah.
start off with the team, and then you realize that you enjoy streaming, and you could also make an avenue and then link the
Ah,
two.
yes, yes, yes. Dusk 1. Yes.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. Okay. So Dusk 1 was a Valorant. It was kind of like a small little Valorant we call it a group, I guess. It wasn't like a proper team. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, it
it
was.
was fun, but it was more like a clan at the start, but we had about 4 people in at the time. We even had like a Fortnite guy playing for us or something. Not sure what was going on there. There was a bit of a change of leadership towards the end. I don't know what was happening. And eventually became Dusk 3. And then I was like, oh, Dusk 5 sounds really cool because we were doing it all in Roman numerals. It was like the V, the I's, for the
Yeah.
3. I was like, oh, that looks really fun fact, the Dusk 3, right, was the 3 lines were part of my logo as well, originally. But yeah. I had like a logo and like on the mask there
Yeah.
was like a little like thing on the mask, like 3 lines or something for like Dusk. But yeah. I don't have it anymore because Adobe thinks I've stolen their stuff, even though I haven't. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with them, man. But so I had to make a new one. But new one's better, to be honest. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. And then we made it finally became Dusk X. Now we'll
Yeah, I
get back
remember
to
that.
Dusk X as well later because it has been rebranded slightly and moved to a different type of content. So yeah.
Yeah.
But eventually, what's it called? I moved to Team Mars. And I met a few people on that who were like, oh, what's it called? Who showed me how to like create content, and stuff, and like really use my face on my content rather than just being like everyone else, right? Just posting clip after clip. And
Yeah.
I started to think, oh, this is quite fun, I'm enjoying it. I'm starting to grow from it as well, I kind of miss that kind of like phase of myself, I guess, because well, I don't really create much content nowadays. I stream, but I don't create content as in like the Instagram clips or the Twitter clips, but I kind of miss that. But I'm not really an FPS streamer anymore. So yeah, that was basically the Dusk story.
Yeah. And like I remember like each like iteration, like going through it, each time we get a name change, like we'd get more people on. And I remember like you sort of like, because you've always basically been trying to get me to do the content creation stuff as well. I've always been like,
Yeah.
nah.
Mm.
It's only because I don't know. I just kind of like I know I'm not going to be consistent with it. I don't want to like do that and then disappoint people and stuff. So that's why I would probably end up uploading like clips whenever I feel like it. But I know that's
Yeah.
not really, if you want to grow and you actually want to make it and like do proper content creation, you have to be consistent with it. You can't just make whenever you feel like. So yeah. But like my question really is like, how did you feel each time you felt like there was a change coming? So like in terms of like a rebrand and things like how did you feel?
For Dusk X.
Yeah, like at the
I
beginning, like each time you had to do a change or like, because I think one time there was a copyright or like we had the same name of somebody or something like that. It was one of the Dusks and we had to change it because there was someone who was like too similar to us. They took our name.
I don't think so.
I can't remember, but I remember there was a problem
Mm,
with our name and there was like that was one of the reasons we had to change it.
I can't remember that. Not too sure. Not too sure if that was Dusk X. I'm not sure if that was like any of the Dusks. I don't think so. I don't think we did. Because yeah, I can't remember there being a copyright issue with the Dusks.
Copyright might not be like the official word, but it's like we had a similar name to somebody.
D2? Dusk 2 maybe? Kind of rings a bell, maybe it was Dusk
Something like
1
that.
or Dusk 1 maybe. It's one of those two because I remember Dusk 3 we got away scot-free because we like,
Yeah, no, three. Yeah, I think it was like one or two, something like that, and then we settled on three. I think that might have been when we were just choosing the name to begin with.
yeah, I think it was Dusk 1 or something. I don't think we thought there was gonna be like a problem. We just thought like, oh, we want to be more original. Yeah.
Yes, that was it actually. Yeah, we wanted it to be like original.
Yeah. Remember
Anyways,
having
it
all
got a
of the
bit
names, but yeah.
got a bit sidetracked. But yeah, what I was trying to say is that like each time you had like a brand change or like a name change or anything, like how did it make you feel? Was you excited about it? Did you feel like you're
Yeah,
gonna have to
'cause I
start again?
got to like rebrand the whole thing as well. Got to make the logos because when I make a brand, of course, I'd like to make the design. Of course, I like to add the brand, and I like to add the what's it called? I like to add the some extra like pizzazz, I guess. I
Yeah,
like to
like
make it
the
a bit
visual effects.
fancy. Yeah, but also the text. I don't want it to be normal text. I want it to be like Roman numerals, of course, and that's what I did. With the eyes, of course, for the Dusk 3. But yeah, like 3 eyes.
And then like
Names.
after Dusk X, that's when I guess because Dusk X is sort of like the first iteration. That's like the beta in a way, where like you sort of tested it out,
Yeah.
saw what it was like managing everyone, what it was like managing people, and then after that, you kind of had like an idea. You had a bit of training in the content creation, and you
Yeah.
realize that like I can do more than just post other people's clips. Like I can actually try and make a community where people promote each other, people do like group content creation, and like everyone grows together as a group. And then that's when we
Yeah.
got into like all of the team stuff. That's where it really more moved towards a team than from a
Definitely.
clan, if you get what I mean. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
what was the first name? Because I'm not even gonna lie, there's been so many. But after Dusk, like where did we move to?
After Dusk,
Yeah.
well, we had a small hiatus because I left the team and few people took over, and then management wasn't very good. I'm not gonna say any names, but we're not fans of him. But yeah. what's it called? Him and a few others, what's it called, took over whilst I was gone. And I was like, well, what's it called? I don't really I didn't really agree with it, so I took the brand back, and hid it for a little bit, until a few years later when they reused the branding. But what I did, what's it called, was I took a hiatus. Whilst I was doing that, I was working on content creation, of course. So straight, I went to Savage 7 Gaming,
Yeah.
Sing Gaming, Team Mars. These were big teams as well. Savage 7 Gaming had like 27,000 followers on Instagram, and I even had a mask for it. I don't know where it is, man. I mean, hell, I wish I knew. I think that'd be quite cool. Actually, hold on,
Yeah,
let's go
I
find this.
remember. I remember actually like joining your streams every like every month or like every 2 months, and like you would be having like a different mask for a different mask for like a different team you was in. I don't know how you did that. Found one of them. You found two. But one thing about Jay, he's always gonna have a mask. Always.
Man. But I've got two of them. Okay, it's a shame I couldn't show the S7 one because I do think that's one of the better ones. Actually, hold up. Right. First, before I go back, right? Yeah. This is what's it called? This is the first one, of course. But yeah, fun fact, but I just got it from Legoland, mate. It's not even a JPhaze one. It's literally just a Lego Ninjago mask. But
I'm
yeah,
dead.
but yeah,
Still looks
literally,
nice
man.
though.
Yeah, it was a really nice mask. I bought this like I was like year 6, mate. I was like, oh, go and get this mask, man. But yeah, and then I was like, oh, I'll wear this on stream like a few years later. I was like, well, not a few years later, like 5 years later. But yeah, this is my it's a COVID branded mask, which has got my branding on it. But yeah, as you can see, yeah,
I remember that.
never made to the stream. Never made to the stream. Really uncomfortable. I couldn't find the S7 mask, but I did find something better. I found
This is Zaida mask.
the Zaida mask. This one, to be honest, I never wore this one really much on stream. By then, I got my face leaked. But yeah, if anyone who doesn't know, I'm part of a kind of like little group, little community, known as Zaida Chords. That's the Zaida in Zaida SuperPhaze. But yeah, you could just wear this, just basically a snood. But I designed this myself using Photoshop. But yeah, as you can see, take a look at the camera. It's got like clouds inside the thing as well.
I remember that when we was playing Apex. That's where I remember it the most from.
It's actually got
Then
an
you
Apex
had,
background in the logo in the webcam as well. No,
yeah, I
in the
remember.
mask.
Remember you made like the whole Apex layout. It's like the health bar, the armor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I still
you
have that
learned
to be
so many
honest.
things.
But yeah,
Right, yeah. So basically, the question was like, when you was like switching from team to team, how did you feel? Like, did you feel excited that it was a new opportunity? Did you feel
yeah, I
like,
did. It's a good idea to promote myself, of course, with 77 Gaming. I think if I stayed on the team, I think I could have got a lot bigger as a streamer myself. Um, I kind of regret, not staying on the team. I think if I stayed a little bit, I think Savage 7 would have stayed around slightly. I don't want to sound egotistical, right? But they were running out of members, right? And I think I was one of the members that actually, caused them to fall. Not the not the last one, but didn't help. I was
I
the only
understand.
streamer, and yeah, what's it called? I was growing loads of followers every day, man. Within like 2 weeks, right? I gained like 200 followers on Instagram. But yeah, I was getting like loads of followers on Twitch. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah, you became a partner really quickly on Twitch.
partner.
Was it affiliate or
Oh,
partner?
affiliate. Yeah, I was gonna say, man. I was gonna say, I was like, heck no, partner, bro. But yeah, I mean, hell, I
Yeah, an
would, man.
affiliate, yeah.
Yeah, if anyone doesn't know, twitch.tv/superphase, go follow.
And
But
then
yeah.
Twitch, that's what started all of the antics.
Mm,
24-hour stream.
yeah, but we'll get to that in a bit. Yeah, I didn't start till a bit later. Um, when the
Oh
hell was
god.
that? It's quite a bit. I was like during the time. So let me tell you why I left 77 Gaming. This links back to the esport teams, okay? So
Mm.
I was on 77 Gaming, and I was like, I miss making a team, I thought it was fun, but I'd learned so much. But the whole point of joining teams as well was so I could learn more about the industry, of course, and how to create a good brand. I'm all about good business, but I'm also all about the branding, of course. I love to design stuff. Um, and the thing is, yeah, what's it called? I missed esports, so I was like thinking in the car, and I was like, there's a swimming pool I like, right? It's called Oasis Leisure Center, right? And that's in Swindon. If anyone doesn't know, it's a really nice swimming pool. It's got loads of slides, right? And it's tropical, right? It's got loads of palm trees. It's got dolphins, right? The dolphin. We'll talk about the future, probably. Um, and yeah, it's it stuck out to me. It was part of my childhood, and I was like, I want to remember my childhood because that swimming pool got shut down during COVID. So I was like,
Oh, damn.
yeah, COVID really hit the swimming pools, quite a bit. It was a really good swimming pool. It was like one of those like more luxury ones. It had like a wave machine and everything, and like actual slides.
Damn. That
Yeah,
sounds nice.
it was, man. It was one of the actually only good swimming pools out there because most swimming pools just lane swim.
It's the
Nothing
first time
else
I'm
in.
hearing this story. I didn't know it was named after like where you're.
Really?
Yeah.
I swear I could have
You
told you. Oh
no.
wow. Oh wow. Okay.
I didn't know I
Yeah.
had such a sad backstory. Oh my god.
Yeah. Um. But what's it called? I was in the car. I was thinking about the swimming pool. I was like, I was also thinking about Montreff's names. I was like, I was thinking, what can I make for a montage? Of course, because I didn't really think of an esports team at first. But then I was like, oh, that'd be cool as a team name. It was like I was thinking of like because I wanted to make some like jet montages. I'm not sure if you remember them, but I used to create little montages on YouTube about the character Jet in Valorant, and I was like, I think this is this is a pretty good name. Mirage. I wanted to like learn a bit of Blender. Um. And then I was like, what about Oasis? That would be a really cool montage name. I could create like a really cool desert kind of theme. I was like, hold on, this idea should be way bigger. It should be a team. And
Mm.
that is how Oasis was born. And I said to someone at Discord, I was like, I've got it. I'm going back to esports. Oasis. Um, I was like, join the Oasis. Hashtag join the Oasis. And the name was born. That was the first hashtag for Oasis. I don't think I use it anymore, but yeah.
I have. It literally just came into my mind just now when you're talking about like designing logos. But do you remember Scenario?
Yes, yes. That's a good reminder actually, because that was like in between Dusk, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
Oasis. So there was a time when I thought, what's it called? I would stay in Dusk, but I'd rebrand it to Scenario. I was gonna buy Scenario as well. But then I thought, what's it called? I also got scammed on Fiverr. I bought this like really shitty bird logo, and
I'm
I
just
was
looking.
like,
I'm looking at the picture now. Like I can still
"Oh
see it.
my
Hold on.
god, no!" Because there was a bet. There was a the originally only had a better logo, but he said I couldn't use it or something weird like that. I was like, "What?"
Hold on. I just sent it now. Look.
It's you went all the way up to there in the Discord. Nah,
I
that's
searched.
so
I searched the image and found it. But yeah.
that's so bad, man.
The colors are nice. I will be very honest.
Yeah, maybe I should reuse
Colors were
it.
nice.
I probably should reuse it. Both of them are pretty cool. The pink and white one was pretty good. It was more like scenario, but yeah. But it was like, it was two like esports streamer, vibes, Want something
Yeah, I
with like
get
a
you. Like
solid brand.
bit generic.
Yeah, I don't know why people use it so much. Like someone came on my stream the other day and they were like to me, hey, do you want some graphics, right? I make really good graphics, right, And I looked at them, right, and they were like, "Oh, what do you think?" Right? I was like, I think they're cool, but a lot of streamers, use this kind of stuff, right? I think you should make something more unique." And they were like, "Oh, but the streamer wants them." I was like, I mean, but yeah, I'm not sure if they do,
Mm, yeah,
because if you look like all the other streamers, no one's gonna pay attention. But yeah,
yeah. You need something that catches
stands
their
out.
eye. Part of the
Exactly.
marketing.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. And they also wanted me to pay about £80 or something for scenario. And I was like,
Yeah. And then what happened? Did he just
no,
not
no,
respond or something?
no,
Mm.
no. I decided not to because I don't think I could like settle down a payment or something. I didn't think I was like, oh, I think I changed my mind in the end. Yeah, I think that's what
Well, you
happened.
just couldn't come to an agreement.
No, I couldn't turn the agreement because it's £80 for a dead team. It was like might as well keep Dusk.
That's
But yeah,
true. It was no point like 'cause you would have basically paid £80 to
yeah,
just be in like a worse position, basically.
exactly.
Because you had something going with like there was like if you would to look at it on a graph, like Dusk would be going on like an upwards trend, even though it's starting low, and then like scenario will be going like a downwards trend, and it's harder to.
Mm,
So,
I think Snow is just Dusk right, but with inflated numbers. 'Cause it had like 2,000 following, but it was just inflated numbers. That's the
yeah,
problem.
like yeah. So that's what I'm saying. You would have paid £80, you wouldn't even been in a better position.
Yeah, I'd just be getting the same thing. Not like I'm getting the community.
That's
But
true.
yeah,
It's better to build your own community because then you could have like people
exactly.
be like, yeah, I've been with you from the start, or like I remember this part instead of
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
like coming in on a new community and it's like most people will probably just leave because it's like, oh, this isn't the person I remember. That's usually what
Yeah,
happens. Like I've seen like pages like where they change like admins, for example, and they're like, oh yeah, it's a new admin. I'll be running this account now. Like for example, like meme accounts, for example, and stuff. And people be like, oh,
it's
I
because
don't
it's a
really remember
personal
this guy.
connection. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, they don't have the put. That's why a lot of people invest in brands as well because of like a personal connection. Like
yeah,
for example, you could get like a pair of Nikes for your Christmas present when you're like 3 years old, and you remember those are my first pair of shoes. So you've got sentimental value to like Nike shoes, right? So
yeah.
when you're older, you're gonna like just like Nike shoes naturally just because you've always had that connection to them. Similar stuff with like streaming and brands. Like if you've been with a streamer for a long time, you've sort of seen a part of their life, like a journey with them. You share that sentimental connection with them. So it's
Exactly.
like,
Yeah, yeah. That makes sense.
anyways,
Um,
into
yeah.
my next question, which is once we've like settled on Oasis and everything now, because I remember
Mm,
we was getting a lot of members like daily. We was getting a lot of members when we first
true,
started.
true.
I
Was
remember
like
like
Gen
on
1?
yeah, like I remember I think on the Instagram page, like you uploading like
Loads of
let
welcome
me
banners. Yeah.
yeah, I literally can see it now. Like it was like the graph, like of like a map, and we had like tropical banner on the net on the side.
Yeah.
It would look, yeah, it was everything was like a greeny blue color.
It
And
had a
we was getting
different
a lot of
logo back
members.
then as well.
Yeah, it was like it wasn't a moon. It was like a full circle.
You know, it's actually a reference to Sage, by the way. So on the Oasis logo, you know, the moon. On top of that, the three dots. You know, that's the three dots from Sage's ultimate. Fun fact.
I didn't even know that.
But yeah,
I thought it was a
that's
sage orb.
that's why at first it was just a full circle, and then I removed it, made it like a moon because it looks quite cool. But yeah.
Mm. And then, so yeah, I guess my question for this one would be like, when you got those influx of members coming in, what was going through your head, like in terms of like being able to manage everyone, sort everybody, like what was going through your head when you was getting so many members coming in?
I thought I could do it, to be honest. I mean, back then, what's it called? I wasn't that confident myself at the time. I didn't think, what's it called? At first, I thought, this is gonna be fun, you know. But then I realized how stressful it really gets, you know. Um, it took a lot of practice over the years, man, to actually like understand how like being a leader works, of course, of a esports kind of brand, and like, you know, basically just how people function, I guess.
Mm,
Because everyone has different needs and wants, you know. That's the thing.
yeah,
And you can't please everyone as well. That's the problem. Like, it's nice to as well, but at the end of the day, if you do it, you're gonna be like really miserable. But yeah.
yeah. And like I also remember you like asking me a lot of the time, just like confirming should I do this?
That
Like
was
he
Gen
wasn't,
2. Yeah, that was Gen
yeah,
2.
because
We should talk about that.
yeah, like because the Gen 1, I'll be honest, that was pretty chill. Like I think the only I don't even remember there
Yeah,
being
yeah.
any problems, to be honest. I
There
don't.
was like one problem, that was it, right? Um, I remember the Psycho Kitty situation when he turned out he was a pedophile, but that happened like months later. Yeah, it was really weird,
Oh,
right? Because what's
yeah.
it called? Everyone was like supporting him, right? Of course, like for like coming out, of course, right? And then he started like talking to this random guy in the team, right? And um, it was really weird because what's it called? It looked like they were like you know, speaking to, right? But no, you know, we weren't really aware of like the age range, you know. And it was like,
Yeah,
oh, this is weird, man. And
yeah, I think that was the
mm,
problem with Gen 1. We didn't, because it's like the first time we made a group and like
yeah,
anybody can join, it was sort of like there was, it was too unrestricted, basically.
yeah, exactly. What's it called?
We needed to set more restrictions, more rules,
Mm.
safeguarding things
Oh
like,
yeah, but Gen 2 was worse. Gen 2 was far worse. Nah, the shitstorm that was Gen 2. I probably shouldn't be saying this because someone from Team Oasis Gen 5 is gonna
no,
watch this and be like,
you know
hold
what?
up, what am I doing on this team? No, but it's got way better from Gen 3 and 4. Like, I remember Gen 3 and 4 having a problem. Um, Gen 5. I mean, bandits. I mean, technically that counts as bandits, right? I mean, technically
Yeah,
this is Gen 6, but in Team Oasis terms, it's Gen 5.
I think I'm not even gonna lie. Gen 2 had to happen. We had to have a crash and burn. We
True.
needed everything to just
Just
fall
cauterize.
straight.
Yeah.
Yes,
Let me get some
because
water. Let me get some water.
alright, cool. Hold on. Suddenly, I cannot hear you anymore.
Sorry, I had to get some water. But
Oh,
yeah, what's it called? I had a Team Waste water bottle before, right? But now it's just a work bottle. I can't find my original one. I don't know,
man.
right?
I was just thinking about Team Oasis shirt.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna show that in a minute. I was just saying that.
Why, yeah, Gen 2 needed to crash and burn. That
Yeah,
had
let's
to.
talk about that. Let's talk about that actually.
I remember because the whole problem with that was that there was a misconception between what the
What had
purpose of the group
Yeah.
was.
True. Like what's it called? I knew that it had to end as well because what's it called? I asked a bunch of them towards the end of the thing. I was like, "So why are you in Team Oasis, by the way? Tell me, what's it called? Why are you still here?" Not like a rude way, but I was like, "What's it called? How comes you want to stay in Team Oasis?" And they were like, "Friends," and I was like, "Ah, hell no!" I was like, "Man, you know,
Yeah, so
I need to
like
get out of this place."
everybody thought it was a friendship group. Well,
I
not
mean, what's it
everybody,
called?
but
Not every
most people.
some people took it seriously, which is why some
Yeah,
of them
most
left.
people thought it was a friendship group, and like, there's nothing wrong with being friends in the thing. But when it came to like
Yeah.
decision making, when it
Mm,
came down to like, you know, rules and enforcement and stuff, like people wasn't taking it seriously. They weren't taking it like how
yeah.
if you was working for like a proper org, you know,
Exactly.
because
I think.
that's what we were. We were an org. We wasn't a
Mm,
friendship group. Although obviously we weren't saying, oh yeah,
we weren't an
no
org
one's
at the
allowed to be
time, but
friends.
yeah, we
Well,
were
that's what we were
just a
trying to
team.
be.
We were trying to be, but we weren't like. My definition of an org really is like an official company. But yeah,
I guess so. I guess so. Like, yeah. But in terms of what the intention behind it was, a lot of people would they wouldn't take it as seriously just because you know their intention or it was like a friendship group and it came
yeah.
so when it came down to a lot of like decision making about people staying in the group and stuff like that, because
Mm,
people were friends with each other, there was biases where it's like, nah, it's my friend, I'm not gonna kick him out of the team. It's like,
yeah.
but they weren't like performing or they weren't like doing certain things or they were breaking the rules and things like that. It's like, and obviously because friends are involved, feelings are involved, and when you hurt people's feelings, things get really, really muddy. So that's when like things like face leaks started going around and exposing people's like messages and DMs and
That was Gen
yeah,
1. That was Gen 1 at first, but yeah. Let's talk about let's what's it called? Let's start from the beginning of Gen 2, because Gen 2 77 like reopened again. I convinced him to like add me. Um, and during that time, what's it called? You know, I thought maybe I should return to Oasis, of course, because Gen 1 ended abruptly, and I was like, well, I gave it to like 7 other people. I was like, oh, here you go, try and see if you can run this, without me for a few months, right? And they, did a shit job. Um, but they were like, what's it called? They were like, oh, JPhaze isn't helping us. I was like, I know. I told you, you can run it for a few months. Like, I literally told them I'd give them ownership, And yeah, they were really confused. Let's just say. Oh man, I got some mad hay fever. And basically, what's it called? During the whole thing, what was I saying? I took it back, of course, like midway whilst I was still, being a content creator for Savage 7. And I was like, I need to stop saying that. And I was like, and I, what did I do? I remember getting a bunch of random content creators. I was like, oh, would you be interested in joining a team if I brought it back? And I told him the legendary story of Oasis Gen 1. I kept telling all the S7 members. And that's how I got all of them to join Oasis Gen 2 in the end. Because like 7 started to fall again.
mm,
And with that, I made a whole group chat, right? And I got all the 7 gaming members join me, right? Join Team Oasis, right? Except one. And that was it. And what's it called? There was a guy, his name was Glowsy. And he couldn't get into 7 game and he wanted like a chance on a team that wanted him. He was like, hey, can I join your team now? I was like, oh, why not? I need as many players as I can get. So I put him on my team. And
yeah,
yeah. And so basically the way I start Brandstorm is I get a few people together, right? and it normally helps with like content, of course, because if you have just one person could be a pain to set up like a whole business strat, of course, like a startup. But if you have like like at least like 6 people around you, right, it can be easy to promote the brand, right, and get them to like talk about it. And that's what I did with Team Oasis Gen 1, Gen 2. Gen 3 and Gen 4 were harder because most people didn't really care by then. But Gen 5, that was better because I had more like momentum.
Yeah, we had a lot more people like down for the cause, I would say. They understood. They
Yeah,
understood the assignment.
exactly. Most of them are just there because they want to make an esports as a career in Gen 5, like nowadays. But Gen 2, what's it called? There was a lot of people who wanted to be a part of a team, but they didn't know what it actually meant. They wanted it for the clout, I guess, Like Team Oasis wasn't big, but I made a brand like so good, right? Like the branding was so good that a lot of people thought it was a big team. They were like, they looked at it right, because like you look at the team right, and you think, what's it called? You don't think it's that small, because most teams have like the whole Instagram layout, the whole generic banner and stuff, generic design. Yeah,
Well, like you're
like
saying, people from the outside, that's how they would view
mm, yeah.
Oasis. You saying?
Yeah. Because what's it called? A lot of people thought it was more professional, that it wasn't just copying all the other teams and doing the same thing. It still had a lot of aspects of them, but the branding was a lot more different. It was more unique. It was
Yeah.
I was more like replicating the bigger orgs rather than just copying all the smaller orgs on Instagram. But yeah, and I was like, oh, I need to stop. I was like, it's a mad habit. Chat. Oh no, it's not a chat, is it? It's a podcast. And we had a few incidences in Gen 2, so let's talk about them because it's about time. I've wasted about 7 minutes just waffling. Um, First of all, there was the Inuyamaki situation. Now, it was going well until a famous man was called decided to get on his phone and start sending some pictures. And like it's a really sad story, right? But what's it called? I did learn eventually what's it called that a lot of them were lying in the future. Like in Gen 3 I learned that what's it called, a lot of them had been lying about the whole incident. There was 1 or 2 members that were lying. I'm not gonna say any names because I don't want the drama. But some of them were real. There were some real stories about him doing that, and I had pictures and screenshots. Not all of the stories that all of the girls that came forward were true, but 2 of them were. And what's it called? I saw it firsthand in the group chats as well, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And even people were defending him, right? What's it called? And they were saying, he did nothing wrong, And what's it called?
I genuinely don't understand that.
They said he got Amber Hearded, but yeah, I was like, "What?" Bro got Amber Hearded, but what?
I don't know, man. I just, yeah. Anyways, that happened.
Sorry, that was my social media manager. But yeah. But
I was,
back to
yeah.
what I was saying. Yeah, because I was saying.
No, we're just talking about how, like, people are saying that he didn't do anything wrong, and I was just thinking that wasn't that should have been a red flag from that moment there, because how many
Yeah.
times, how many other incidences after that happened where it was something wrong and everybody was like, but they didn't do anything wrong, and it's like, are you looking at the same evidence that we are? Like,
There was a
it
lot of
was.
stuff like that. And then what's called at the end, what's the call basically. So I have an example, right? Because towards the end, what's called, a lot of people started to accuse me of stuff, right? And the stuff wasn't terrible, of course, right? But a lot of people were like, they were like to me, they were like, "Oh, what's it called? Um, because you did this, that means you were bad, right? But that means the other guy was good. He was actually innocent. You must have accused him, They were like, "Oh,
Yeah,
what's it called? Because you did a bad thing, that makes Hitler a great person." That's what they basically said,
it
You
makes
know what I
no
mean?
sense. They said
Yeah,
because you did a bad thing, whatever the other bad thing person done just
exactly.
equals out, like it means nothing. It's like that's not how it works. They're basically saying two wrongs make a right, and it's like that's no. I shoot you
Mm,
in your left leg and you're in pain, and then I shoot you in your right leg and you're also in pain.
yeah.
Does it make me shooting in your left leg any better? No, you still got shot.
Doesn't make any sense, you know what I mean? Like,
It doesn't. But again,
two wrongs don't make a right. But yeah.
it's because everyone had friends or they had some personal connection to each other. So,
Ah, yes, the Oasis division. Yes.
oh my god,
It was named after you, right? But unfortunately,
it
right?
was such a good idea, but oh man, the
I don't
members.
think it was actually, to be honest, right? Because I gave the keys to the wrong people,
That's what I'm
in
saying.
my
In
opinion.
theory, the group was a good idea, but the members, oh my god,
I think they were
we,
planning from the whole start. Because after I got rid of Sin's ownership, right, they were like, "Oh well, we're just gonna what's it called? Take him down this way, and then he's got no power, but we can still use him as a puppet." That's what they kind of did. They were like, "Oh, because he's in the group, yeah, we can just basically string this guy on a string, right? Because he is still the face of the company, but we're not. So they could make all the decisions, right? Yeah. Um, but yeah, and that's why I kept asking you and stuff. I was like, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? Because I was kind of tired of all the backlash, because I was like, well, I'm not the only person making all the decisions. Like the whole thing about the whole censorship thing, right? Remember the whole censorship stuff, right? I was like, um,
yeah,
because the whole point, the whole reason behind the censorship, was actually because I didn't want people hanging around with people who would like talk about my back. I didn't want people on the team because why should I have someone who's like bad mouthing behind my back? Doesn't make any sense.
yeah.
Like
I think like in terms of that decision, that got
mm,
blown out of the water because they was making it out like you was trying to control everything they say and everything they talk to. He was just saying, look, like don't publicly talk about this guy because he's not associated with our brand. Like he's not
yeah,
associated with
yeah,
us.
exactly.
And I don't want his association with Oasis
Mm,
basically.
yeah,
That's basically what you were saying. And that is normal for any company to like
yeah,
say that stuff. Like for example, like like when an actor gets like charges in court and then the people in the movie are like, okay, cool, we're firing him, we're not associating him, when like don't even mention
yeah,
his
yeah,
name in correlation to us. Like for example, if you work for
yeah.
Marvel, yeah, and like you're in some you get put in court, you see how quickly they drop you and they don't associate anything with you
It's
anymore. They
crazy.
like they literally disassociate their brand because it's bad PR.
Yeah,
And that's basically what he was doing. He's like, I don't want that kind of bad like reputation floating around Oasis.
yeah. Of
But
course, it's crazy.
people just took it out of context and it was like, oh, he's trying to tell me who to talk to. He's trying to tell me what I can and can't say. And it's like, oh, we're not telling you to like, you're not allowed to have friends. Like, we're just telling you
Mm.
if you're going to talk to that guy, don't associate it with Oasis.
Wait, hold up. This was the same story of like how Gen 1 failed as well. Because the whole light situation, yeah. Um with that story, basically, I said the same thing to them really as well. Yeah. Huh.
It's just that people don't like being told
Exactly right.
who
But the thing
they
is,
can
what's it
and
called?
can't talk
But
to.
it's not like I don't want people to ever speak to them, right? It's like don't problem is what's it called is they didn't listen, they didn't really pay attention. That's the problem.
I think by that point, they was already on you. So they was just looking for anything to really try and be like, oh, look at
Yeah,
JPhaze, he's such a bad guy.
exactly. Because their impacted trauma, like they were like, oh, what's it called? They generally thought they were like the most hurt little puppies in the world. I don't really understand it really, but yeah,
Then they tried to make their own group.
the Exiles, yes, my favorite group. Um, Vote me for XL president, you know? Yeah, vote me for XL leader. You could not live
Yeah,
with your failure. Where does that lead you? Back to me. You know,
I just think
look,
from
I'm just saying, you know. I'm
I
just
just like
saying.
the whole fall downfall of that definitely was a lesson for all of us.
Yeah, I think it benefits as well because you're on that whole fall. Team Zaida, the owner of Team Zaida came to basically save me. I was gonna quit everything basically, the whole social media, whole team. I was like, oh, you know, don't let these random um people, what's it called, make you leave because these guys have like 50 followers if they don't know anything. And yeah, I mean he's kind of right as well. He was like, oh, what's it called, and I was like, but I made a mistake, I did this and that. He was like, so what's it called? Um, everyone makes mistakes, it's human. I was like, yeah, true. And this is quite a simplified answer, of course, but it's just answering the question to why I came back so quickly. Because everyone was like, oh, he just came back, he faked his leave, I didn't fake my leave. I came back right because, someone came in and helped me back up. It was
Mm,
like, yeah. I don't
yeah,
understand that what's it called that people were so weird about me coming back, they were like, oh, how did you come back so fast? You faked it. No.
because they just didn't like you. So any decision they
Yeah, yeah,
made, they
yeah.
always saw it in a negative light.
Mm,
Like, oh, he didn't really leave. He was trying to get clout. That's why he come back so quickly. But really, it takes a split second for you to change your mind. Like, you can think
yeah.
about something and then
I mean, it wasn't a split second. It was more like a few days, but
no, as in like the actual
mm,
part where your mind changes. Like,
yeah.
you can be. It happens just like that. Like, you think about, do I want to do it? You get that boost of motivation, and then you're like, I want to do it. And it literally happens just like
Mm,
that. So
yeah.
it doesn't really matter like how long, because you were genuine about it. You was
Yeah.
genuinely going to step away. You
Mm-hmm.
knew that none of it was planned, basically.
Yeah.
But I say after that like second boost, that's when you really started to get everything together again. And that's when
Mm. I mean, it took me
all
a
of the
while to
other
be honest. I will say that because after that I went back to work, of course. Right, I wasn't doing much, of course. I mean, he did Dunway, of course. He did encourage me to bring back Team Oasis, and then Gen 3 was born. And that what's it called, started this podcast series, of course. Well, at least it rebooted it, of course. And that is, where we're at now, season 2, episode 2. But yeah, I believe it was, I think it was May. Yeah, it was May. Dunway was episode 1. If you want to listen to it, you're welcome to. Season 1, episode 1, first episode on the channel. But yeah, a lot of stuff about that. Not a lot about the history of Oasis, but a lot of history about Zaida and how he overcame it, and how he basically influenced and told his story about how he overcame the hard struggles of running a team. Because everyone will hate when you have to make hard decisions, but often you need to make those decisions.
yep. I think like in terms of Zyda as well, like
Mm,
how much like of an influence did they have on you? Because I know
that's a very
it's
good
a
question.
it's a big influence. I know, but like in terms of like
Mm,
just like detailing, because they they came, I say they came around midway through your career, and
yeah,
like
I've always
I've
been trying
always
to.
I've always known them to be like there for
Mm,
you. So like,
yeah,
what has their influence been like?
amazing, because not only when they weren't there, what's it called, they were still impacting my career because I looked up to them, I guess. And
Mm,
towards the towards the end of what's it called? Towards the end of my content creation career when I joined Team Zaida, they've always been there, even when people were like trolling on me or something. They were always there to give me advice. They weren't always around at the time, like I didn't know who to speak to at the time, but after Gen 3, right, I knew who the real ones were, of course, I spoke to them, all the time, and I've had some decent talks with them. Like they're generally good people. Like shout out to Dunway, man. Epo as well. I haven't spoken to Epo in a while, but Narco as well. He was a good member. But yeah, all owners of Team Zaida, they were really nice people. And what's it called? The good thing was about Zaida was I really wanted to replicate it with Team Oasis. It's heavily inspired by Team Zaida, so it's always impacted my career, especially in content creation, where I what's it called? They encouraged me to improve the standards of my content creation, so make the branding better. It's called work on how I conduct myself on content. But yeah, it's all of that kind of stuff. Actually, they also told me about where to get a mixer hoodie, and I used to be a mixer. Um,
You have so many souvenirs.
yeah, man. Just kind of have to. Yeah. So I'm a big fan of Mixer. I'm not gonna lie. It was my first stream platform that really got me into streaming. I had about 220 followers on the platform. I Back then my PC wasn't the best, unfortunately, so I wasn't gonna, I didn't have the resources to actually make it on Mixer. I think if I actually had more dedication, I reckon I could have done it. I reckon I could have got partner, and that would have led to Twitch partner when it closed, because every Mixer partner got Twitch partner when the Mixer closed. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember you won. Was it a headset off a mixer?
Yeah,
Was
yeah, I
it?
don't have it on me right now because it's at my work desk. Because I have it as a work headset now, and they're like, "Oh, you should sell it, Jay." I'm like, no, I had to sell that headset, man. It's a piece of history, mate. It's a souvenir, like you said. But yeah, guys, Mixer hoodie, shout out to Dunway for hooking me up with it. Great guy. But yeah, it's a massive hoodie though. I'll tell you that it's a massive size for me, especially.
It looks warm. You're gonna get hot in that.
Nah, I'm keep it up for the whole podcast, man. We're doing this, okay? We are
Oh,
doing this.
jeez.
But yeah, I
Right.
have to wear on the
So,
podcast. But yeah.
next question for you now is esports. So, you've set up Oasis now. You've set
Mhm.
up like all of the gens. You've got everything up and running.
Mm,
In terms
you
of
have
esports now, it's like, what's your goal? I guess.
the goal. Hmm, that is a good question. Um, I have a multitude of offers currently going around with a couple of partnerships, which is what I'm looking forward to engaging in. So that's kind of like looking to get some sponsors, looking to promote the brands. It's gonna be quite an interesting time. I do want to of course grow the podcast. I want to grow every brand. I'm not focused on making too many more brands, but I will say there will be maybe one or two more in the future. But I'm not gonna leak anything because last time I did that, the act got stolen off me. So rest in peace, Crimson Knights. But yeah, I have a couple of domains anyway, reserved now. So I've learned my lesson for leaking stuff on the podcast. But yeah,
I mean, technically, you could leak them now, but you have the domains, so it won't get stolen.
no, but it's the handles as well on Instagram and Twitter. I also got
That's true. What, you
them
haven't
as
made
well.
those yet.
Nah, not on everything. But I
Okay,
do
yeah,
need
we
to.
keep that a secret then.
Yeah, yeah. But it's gonna be good. The partnership with the big partnership that's gonna happen soon. Well, at least I think it's gonna happen soon. By the time this video's out, about maybe 2 weeks from now, this should be operational. And
Damn, that's
what will
soon.
happen is we might get some nice sponsors for Blue Skirmish. Tropicscope might be getting a lot bigger, and there'll be a lot more guests on Team Wizards podcast. We've actually been
Good.
struggling this month for guests as well. It's been quite a hassle looking for guests for the podcast. Especially a lot of good guests as well. What's it called? You're a really good guest. Thanks for being on the podcast.
Thank you,
Um,
thank you.
But what's it called? I get the one guy, what's it called, who I don't know, I know nothing about, right? Or what's it called? You can't even find anything about them, so you can't even ask them questions. You know, you
Oh,
can't ask.
okay.
They posted one clip and they call themselves a content creator. You know, like I can't really ask them any questions, unfortunately. But
There's
yeah,
not much. There's not much for you to bounce off of.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that. Well, I mean, I guess it's kind of lucky in our case is different. Even though I don't have much content creation, we've got a lot of history. So
Exactly, that's how it works.
yeah, it works out in that way.
Mm.
So, and like the groups that you have in Oasis at the moment, like take me through it because I'll be honest, I've been away for a while, so I'm
Yeah.
not actually too sure. So like, what teams are there now? Is it like Valorant team, COD team, Apex, so on? So like, what's Oasis looking like now?
So in what's it called? So as some of you may know, Bandits Esports was rebranded to Team Oasis Esports. Um I acquired it, I believe, around a month ago now, and it's been doing well. We're at 150 followers now on Instagram, and it's got its own like little handle. It's called Team Oasis EMP, which stands for Team Oasis Empire. And Team Oasis Empire is named after another Swindonian business, and which is linked to the Oasis Leisure Centre anyway. It's kind of like kind of like similar thing. Like it was quite close by, to be honest. I mean, was it? I mean, it was not too far. Empire Cinemas. That was a cinema in Swindon. It's still around, but I like that cinema as well. So it's all linked to a town, of course. So yeah, that's the EMP and Team Oasis. Right? It's a cinema. I mean, it's a link to a cinema at least.
I like how they all have like references to something
Mm,
personal to you. It just makes that
yeah.
that sentimental value stronger.
I mean, even Blue Skirmish has a link to it as well because what's it called? It's linked to a fish and chip shop.
Damn.
um, but what's it called? You know, it's like the whole dolphin fish bar kind of chip shops. You know, with the sign got
Yeah.
like a dolphin as a logo. It's kind of linked to that kind of stuff, right? It's also linked to
Yeah, it's inspired.
yeah, it's also linked to the Oasis as well. You know, so the
Uh,
in the Oasis swimming pool, right? There was like dolphin like logos, of course, and that's where I kind of drew inspiration from that,
like, you
especially
making it's like a separate universe. If your
the
swimming
OCU.
center, yeah,
Yeah,
the swimming center decides to be an organization instead.
exactly, man.
That's cool. So you've got a whole bunch of teams set up now.
Mm.
What's like the joining like in terms of like how many
Oh,
you
members, yeah,
get?
I need yeah.
Yeah, like how many
So
members and stuff coming in now?
we've got we should have a full Valorant team on the way introducing Team Oasis Verde. So Team Oasis Verde, you may have heard that name in Gen 2, but I'm giving
Yeah,
it
I
back.
remember.
So it's the male Valorant side of Team Oasis.
Are they going to
And
be doing? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but are they going to be doing like the premiere stuff? Because that's just come
yes,
out.
yeah, they will be doing that as well.
That's cool.
It's gonna be quite a interesting team as well because they're all immortals. They look really prepared, and they all have great chemistry as well. We've got a sixth man as well, Varney. When you just know Varney's on episode 9. Check him out.
So they are NA, right?
Yes, North American. Our esports players are North American, and our content creators are European.
I'm still waiting for that European Valorant team. You know I'll be there.
It's just
With
finding
me.
the players, man. Really, you know,
I know.
that's the thing.
I've been main in Deadlock now.
Oh, Deadlock. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a Deadlock main.
I swear you main like every new agent.
Listen, this is the first time since Omen where I've actually picked a character and settled with it. I've actually
Okay,
settled.
I
I've
see
actually
this.
settled. So
I keep
like,
playing
yeah,
Blue Skirmish. But yeah.
I'm actually gonna jump on rank after this because
Mm.
because I've been away for
Your
Valorant for so long. They
mic's
put
your mic's a bit fuzzy, by the way.
How's it sound now? Any better? Any worse?
it's still a bit fuzzy. Yeah,
Let
bit
me.
noise, a lot of noise in the background.
Should be no noise or like fuzz noise.
Yeah, it's like kind of like either a fan sound or something. But yeah,
Can you hear me?
yeah, I think that's better. Yes,
I
yeah,
literally have
that's
no fans on, but should be better now.
yeah. It's probably your PC. Most PCs have quite a big fan on them, of course.
I
Um, but yeah, what were
remember.
we saying?
I think I was talking about Valorant. That's what I remember.
Yeah, you're actually gonna hop on ranked. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah, because I've been away for so long. They put me in bronze 3, so
I
I'm now grinding my ass off to try and get back to at least gold.
wonder what rank I'll be. Because yeah, there was a time what's it called where you weren't even on for like about a month, right? And I was just grinding ranked, right? Like in the background. I forgot to tell
Yeah,
you this, right? But I almost got to gold, right? And I was like, "Oh, do you want to play Valorant?" It's like, "Oh, I've quit now." I was like, "What?" I was almost at gold, man. I was like, "Oh, I can't be asked to play this game, man." But yeah,
yeah. I remember getting so close to plat. I think I was like gold 3 halfway.
ooh,
And I couldn't win the last matches I had dropped, and I was just like, oh my god, I'm so close. I could vent about Valorant all day. I
oh,
truly
oh.
hate that game.
I need to talk about Valorant. Yeah, because I had a bit of history in Valorant as well. Not as a player, but as a content creator, of course. But my aim was not too bad, to be honest. Um, I did Kovacs for 100 days. For anyone who doesn't know, there's no content video, unfortunately. I'm not Luke for notable, but yeah, it was a really good experience. My aim was actually getting drastically better every day. I mean, towards like the last few weeks, to be honest, my I started like kind of slacking on Kovacs. I was doing Kovacs, but I wasn't really actually doing it. I was just doing it to get the day in, you know. And but the thing is, once I quit though, I was I wasn't as good as I was before. So I think Kovacs does matter, you know. I think it depends how much, time you put into it and what tracks and what like playlists you choose and scenarios. Because if you're just playing, just hitting like the normal like grid shot or something, your aim is not going to change. But if you practice properly and like do the proper like tracking drills and the click timing drills,
Yeah,
yeah, I used
that is.
the guide from Aimer 7. Now Aimer 7 is a really good aimer. He's quite a legend in the FPS scene. He's trained multiple pros in the scene, and he has a guide to like what trainers you can use. Like I managed to get to the intermediate training, which is quite hard to be honest for most people starting out in the FPS, and it takes you quite a while to complete the training course as well. It takes you about an hour to complete each Kovacs training every day on the routine. It's like going to a gym, man. Okay, but yeah, it was good. I was getting there. I was almost I got to gold 2. I reckon if I, put more effort in, I could have got to plat, maybe even diamond, you know. I think also I reckon I could have made it, as a better Valorant player at least. Um but I decided to make an esports team. I mean, I don't regret it. But yeah, maybe one day, maybe one day. Maybe I'll return to Valorant, you know. Who knows?
Yeah, I think I've been saying that to myself, and every time I'm not gonna lie, Valorant, like playing professionally, actually looks so stressful.
Yeah, and there's always like so many people like, snitching on you, trying to like take you down, it's not fun. Occasionally.
Yeah,
That's one of the reasons why I kind of left as well, because the whole competitive scene in esports can be such a joke sometimes. Like
yeah, no, I've felt that. I was in it briefly.
I like the whole like the professionalism and the production quality like some of the events produced, right? But once you like go down to the ground floor from the first floor, right? Yeah, in the forest floor, it's not very fun. Not in terms like the experience of like learning how to master stuff. It's just the players, man. The players in the games, man, are awful people.
Yeah, it's a lot of like, and I'm saying this
Hmm.
first hand experience, but a lot of Valorant players they have a lot of ego, Like
Yeah. Well, as soon as you hit
there's
diamond, you think everyone owes you everything, And I experienced that was running Team Oasis Gen 2. I had a lot of people like that.
yeah, like they just think that because they're a certain rank, everybody else's opinion doesn't matter. Because I've noticed, for me, I may not have the same level of aim as them, but in terms of like game sense and being able to think and like strategies and stuff,
Yeah.
I definitely know that like I'd be able to like coach and be able to like help people play the game so like in a different way. But it's always sort of like whenever you try and give somebody who's a higher rank, well, not always, but depends on like obviously how big their ego is, but they always sort of think that whatever you think doesn't
It's
make
wrong.
sense
Yeah.
or is stupid or like why would I do that? And you get screamed at, especially when you're in ranked. You try and tell them, oh, stop pushing or stop rushing in, or you tell them, oh, you need to flash. If you're gonna be in the smoke, flash out of the smoke. Stop just running out dry. And they tell you, don't tell me what to do. And it's like, bro, I'm
Yeah,
just
a lot
trying
of
to.
these people have a bit of issues, a bit of emotional issues. I think what's it called? It's just a game, At the end of the day, I think that people get mad too easily.
Yeah.
I think people get too attached to it. What's it called? I think once you learn to let go, what's it called? I feel like the game's more fun. Like, I think that's how most esports pros get there. Of course, in the end, that's how they make it. Because if it was called just raging at the game all the time, like it once you've raged at the game, everyone else is gonna be raging. It's like
Mm. That's the difference between certain players and like pro players and like radiant players.
mm,
The mentality.
yeah,
You
that's
can't
basically it.
tilt like that as a pro player.
Mm,
You can't tilt.
yeah, because once your players, they get tired of that as well, and then they'll start raging. But yeah. Uh so what's it called? Valorant. Like I was saying, what's called? I would create Valorant montages, of course, but the jerseys. That's a good point. Time to show
Oh
the
yeah.
jerseys.
Oh yeah.
Hey, so first of all, right, which am I holding? I'm about to show.
I don't know. And it.
This This
Oh,
is this is jersey. As you can see right here. Yeah.
cool jersey, man.
8 Gen 2.
I got the what's it? Which one is it?
Got the baseball one.
Baseball one. Yeah.
It should have a face cam, man.
Actually, should have used. Now that I'm thinking back, we should have used that picture.
Oh yeah, that's so true. Ah. Oh well. I can put it in the thumbnail. We can put it in the thumbnail.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, as you can see. Next one. The Bandits jersey. This is the content creation jersey of the Bandits.
I like that
I
one.
didn't design this one. It is better than the white one in my opinion. White band. And I think black on clothes, right? A lot better than white clothes because white clothes always gets dirty.
Yeah, I was about to say that they get dirty so quick.
Yeah, like they go well with a lot of stuff, but like I like wearing this, but I can never have this, eating anything. So yeah, sucks.
Those are available where?
The jerseys,
Yeah.
armor.gg. The Bandits one is currently gone now, unfortunately. Because Bandits, it's rebranded. I mean, you can still find the newer versions of Bandits jerseys on armor.gg.
So that's a rare collectible item.
Yes, limited edition. Sell them on eBay, or keep them. I don't know. But yeah, another
Cool.
thing. What's it called? Is I have another hoodie. First,
Yeah, I told you he has so many souvenirs.
right. I can show you the dusk. As you can see here, this is the JPhaze stream.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
One of my favorites. But yeah, I really like this. Doesn't really fit me now because I've been going to the gym recently, right? And I wasn't S, of course, but now I'm an M.
I'm gaining weight out here.
Oh man, mine's here. That is the
I see it. I see it. Bro, bro, accidentally foreshadowed Gen 2.
oh, the snake. That was me, mate.
The foreshadowing is crazy.
For real, man, for real. But yeah, what's it called? Let's talk about what should we talk about? What's the next question?
Well, I guess my next question would be the switch from JPhaze to SuperPhaze. How did that come about?
JPhaze is SuperPhaze. Okay, well, during the whole departure from Gen, I believe it was Gen 4 I switched because I was 2 a.m. JPhaze. I remember being on 2 a.m. Esports. Let's talk about 2 a.m. Esports. Because that's kind of part of the whole thing.
That is true, actually. I remember 2 a.m. It
Dog
keeps
shit
reminding me
team.
of a song.
Dog shit team, okay? I remember when you told me about that song, but yeah. Because when I said, I'm joining 2 with me, like, there's a song about it, then you showed me the song. I was like,
Literally, every time I hear 2 a.m., I just think of the song.
But yeah, what's it called? So here's the thing with 2am Esports, right? 2am Esports is run by a man called Jeff the MVP and a guy called Subway, aka the Foot Long, calls himself. But
in Christ.
I know. But yeah. So when I first met them, they seemed to, be actual nice people, what's it called? But then as I, crept into the team more and more, right, and what's it called, began to create more content, I realized what's it called, they were quite scummy, and they tried to get me to sign a $400 contract for 2% of the esports org. I was like,
Yeah, I remember
I
that.
gotta get myself out of here. I was like, and what's it called? He got his friend in, right? He was like, see, I'm a professional lawyer, okay? What's it called? My granddad works as a lawyer. I was like, how does that make you a lawyer? What? But the thing is, what's it called? We can get lawyers from everywhere. South Dakota, he was like, the Pacific, Texas, he was like, we can get it from everywhere. He was like,
Basically, they were trying to scam you out of £400 or $400, I guess.
yeah. So what I told him was like, oh man, I ain't giving you a damn thing. That's what I said to him. It's the amount of times I've cursed, man, already, man. It's gonna get blocked on Google Podcasts already.
You ain't sworn.
Well, I mean, I've sworn like a few times, probably.
What we said was what? Damn.
Yeah, pretty much. Actually, I said dog shit for the 2M, but it's not. Who cares? But I try to keep it family friendly, of course, because I mean it doesn't really work that often, to be honest. I normally break that rule. Um, but what's it called? Because Google podcast seems to censor me. They're like, we don't want any swearing in the podcast. It's quite annoying.
But even saying damn, like, that's
It should be
excessive.
fun. Yeah. Well, what I'm saying, what's it called, is 2 a.m. 2 a.m. 2 a.m. esports. There was also multiple 2am Esports is Team Oasis Gen 2 on steroids, with smoking like crystal meth or something. That's what they were like, right? And basically what they would do, they would go around and they would say, they'd be like, what's it called? They'd call you like in the middle of work, right? They call any member and they knew the member's work, right? And they'd be like, so then what's it called? Pick up the phone. Like they both thought it was Walter White. Like he thought it was like gangster
Yeah,
or something.
that's a bit
But
like
yeah,
creepy. I ain't even lie.
I was like, no, I'm at work. He's like, but pick up the phone. I need you to make this. And I was like, bro, I can't. Um, what's it called? The weird thing is what's it called? Some of the people on it, some of them were younger than me, of course, right? And he would get them to give them their mum's number. Now, if you think that's
What?
weird, yeah, it's very strange. Now, Jeffrey MVP is a weird bloke. I thought he was a really nice guy. I thought, I think he's quite cool. I kind of look up to the guy. But, never meet your heroes, I guess. And he was, this is the guy that was called. We were gonna put in Oasis, by the way. Imagine that story, man. Imagine how that would have gone. Team Oasis Gen 2, Jeff MVP.
Oh my god, Jeff the MVP.
That would
I
have
remember
gone.
him.
Yeah, that was the guy in 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's also the guy that we was about to sign as well.
imagine if we signed him. Imagine what the whole situation would be like, man. That would have been
God,
crazy. But yeah,
carnage.
he also made it. He videoed himself. What's it called? He made a post of himself, like on 2 a.m. Esports, right? What's it called? Doing this to someone, like just to this girl in his own team. Like he wearing with a 2 a.m. jersey. He is like so weird,
Alright,
And
so
what's it called? There's been multiple sexual incidents for him as well, and he was trying to get those members to hook up with the other members as well. He was like organizing stuff, like arranged dates and stuff. It's really weird.
yeah, 2 a.m. was a whole bunch of just madness.
Yeah.
2 a.m. just sounded so like shady, like
It was. It looks good on the outside because the branding. They kind of copied the Team Oasis kind of aspect, of course. The Oasis effect,
yeah, like they
Yeah.
looked on the outside, they looked like established, they looked like they had
Mm,
like this community and everything, but really the inside was so
yeah.
Illuminati, man.
Exactly. It was not the best.
But that influenced the change to SuperPhaze.
Yeah. I came back. I was like, what's it called? I basically, whilst my way of breaking the contract was, I wasn't allowed to make an esports team, so I broke the contract making Team Wizard Gen 4. That's the story behind it.
It was a pretty good out because they was not letting you go.
Yeah. And during that time, I took a few members from the team with me as well to start Team Wizard Gen 4. I didn't, work the best what's it called because I was like, I didn't really enjoy this, I didn't really enjoy making this team at least because there was a lot of inactivity between Gen 3 and Gen 4 between the content creators and players, I didn't feel like a lot of them were paying much attention because I made Dogpile on Gen 2 as much as I do, but Gen 2 at least had a lot more production, in terms of like our members actually doing more stuff. But what's it called with Gen 3 and 4, like there was really good production quality, the videos were amazing, but it was such a struggle to get them to do anything in the first place, unfortunately. There was a one or two, but that was it, like Intercept. He was really good. But the others weren't, ruined it for the other people. And like, I can't really run a team just for one person, I just shut it
Yeah,
down.
because then it's like
Yeah.
it's a
hmm I was like, what's it
I
called?
just lost the words.
I've got to make a team for
Yeah, because
well,
then it's not a team. That's what I was trying to
exactly.
say. It's not really a team. You're just working like you're basically just a manager or somebody at that point.
Yeah. So I think that I really enjoyed the what's it called in esports was making a proper esports team. And in Gen 2 we got to see a sneak peek of that. I made a Apex team, of course. The Apex team was one of my favorites. Um um quite well. We had 3 members and they got to complete. They only went into one tournament, but it was quite a big one. It was a Lenovo Legion event. It was the qualifiers, of course. But I got a whole like clip of them playing. It was Macadex, Jinx, and I don't know what the other guy was called. Oh, I don't know. He didn't like me anyway. But yeah. Well, here's the thing, Gossip. If you don't like me, I wouldn't say your name. That's how it works. If you got something against me, you'll never hear me say their name again. I'm not giving them free clout, you know.
Or
Not free
like,
clout. I'm not giving them free
if they,
publicity.
if you don't remember them, then your body, your brain just don't remember.
Yeah, man. I just forgot, man. You know. But yeah, it's a shame because that roster was pretty good. But Gen 2, you know, and the thing is, what's called the reason why I don't like. I was so in episode 5. I talked to Devilfoot, and he's a guy on Team Oasis now, and I said to him, what I don't like is that the people in esports orgs trying to take the org down, they don't realize, like, that they're harming the experience for the other people on the team who actually want to be there.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like, because you're working with so many people, it's hard to like remind them that like it's not just a singular thing. It's not just your career.
Yeah,
It's not just your like channel and everything that this could be affecting. Like, this is it's a collective thing, and
yeah,
it is hard to find a whole bunch of people. Like, because obviously as the numbers increase, it's harder to get everybody to share
yeah, of
one like
course.
common thought or one same goal. So it's like it's always that struggle between trying to keep people pleased but also balance the the
Yeah,
benefit of the team.
yeah, definitely. A big struggle was Gen 3 because it was really hard to get momentum back up. The whole point of Bandits Esports Club acquiring that was because I was running out of momentum. I mean, Blue Skirmish kind of saved the whole thing, the whole like company, of course, because Team Oasis became a company in May. I swear to God, this cough man's killing me. But Team Oasis became a company in May 20th, 2022. Now I'll tell you a story, right? What's it called? Glowsy made a video like out on Team Oasis, right? It was nothing. It was kind of stupid, right? He kind of made me look like a good guy, right? But I wanted to test was something, man. So like basically, what's it called? Made a complaint to YouTube, right? And YouTube took down the video in the UK. So you can't, if you're from the UK, you can't even watch that video. Fun fact.
Oh, watch the video.
Nah, if you have a VPN, you can. It's not very good anyway. It's just about him complaining about censorship. Um, I was like, oh, they kicked me. What's it called? And he was like, Jay knows nothing about Fortnite. And I was like, bro, I played Fortnite myself as well. Like, I was probably better than you. Like, I don't have anything against the kid now, but the whole hacking situation where that was the reason why Gen 3 was so hard to build. Because Gen 3, you know, it was so hard to build the team because I got hacked to 0 followers on the Team Oasis account.
Yeah, so it's like we had to start from scratch.
Yeah, pretty much, because no community could like actually see what was going on now, because they didn't even know we existed anymore. It was like we got, but yeah.
Sucks. But I mean, we still managed to wait. Yeah, but I mean, wait, that came after like the fall of Gen 2 and everything, right?
Yeah, yeah. We got hacked like a month into Gen 3, I think. And I was like, what's it
Yeah.
called? I was like, I knew it. The social media manager is actually Glowsy. He's disguised himself as a social media manager in Team Oasis. It was
That
a really
guy's
good
crazy,
disguise.
man.
But it was so weird, man, you know? Like, how obsessed can you be?
Yeah, I was about to say that. There's like just like at some point
And
you gotta just let it go.
you know the weird thing is what's it called? He kept going on his Twitter like complaining about Team West saying what's it called how they were being so horrible to him, but even though he was still in the team, trying to take me down as a social media manager. He was saying I was obsessed with him, even though he basically came in there and stalked me.
I think he was just projecting, man. I think he was
Yeah, man.
obsessed.
Yeah, and the way they treated Punky as well, what's it called? They would literally harass a 12-year-old kid. Because he was a part of Team Oasis. Which was, it really worth it, just because
Yeah,
your feelings were hurt a little bit, messed up. But
I'll be
yeah,
honest. I think I pretty much asked you. We've pretty much talked about as much
oh, we
as we
got a
can
few
right
more.
now.
Got a few more.
If you have any questions for me, yeah, I
Yeah.
myself, I think I pretty much asked you everything I wanted to ask.
What about Blue Skirmish and the 24 to 48 hour streams?
That's right. We did mention the 28 hours, the 24-hour streams.
Yeah, let's
Can
talk
come
about
back to
them.
me. I completely forgot about that actually.
Yeah, there's the three questions for the end. So,
Right. So with the 24-hour stream, yeah,
mhm.
why did you decide to do it? And not because of the money incentive, like
I decided there was this guy called Ace where I was like, oh, but how can I drain his bank account the most efficient way
wow,
possible?
wow.
Hey, I'm joking. I was like, what's it called? I really wanted to challenge it. I've seen people do 24-hour streams, right? But I've always seen them, go to bed, sleep. And I was like, what's it called? It was ultimate difficulty as well because I was wearing a mask. And on the 48-hour stream, that's a different story. But in the 24-hour one, hell yeah, that was harder than the 48-hour one because I was wearing a mask. So one, I couldn't breathe that much, so I had to like. Also, I had to like put like if I wanted to like drink something right, I had to put a straw, up my mask of course when I'm streaming. And it was the same with breakfast, of course. I have to like, but yeah, like, literally like, yeah, like yeah, it was kind of a weird experience.
So
It
you wanted to do the 24-hour challenge the right way.
Yeah, I wanted to prove that you could actually do it, and see if I could, because like a lot of people just cheat, nowadays.
Yeah, they just go sleep on stream and they just get
Mm,
easy money.
yeah,
All right, so I know the
48 hour
48
stream.
hour stream, that was the 100% monetary value. You
I
subjected
mean,
themselves to 48
I
hours.
mean, it was, it was worth it. I got this nice webcam. This is the webcam I'm actually using right now. I mean, it's gonna get because I'm gonna swap it out for this nice little camera here. But
That
yeah,
looks fancy and
Sony
expensive.
A5100. Yeah,
Sounds like how much it costs.
300. £600 when it was new. But yeah.
I mean, that's not bad, you know.
Yeah, it's a good upgrade for the podcast, to be honest, and for content creation. So yeah, keep a lookout for that. But yeah, I got this webcam with the £100 Ace sent me. Yeah, Ace was the guy funding all of this, so thank you so much.
Haha, haha, my account is crying right now.
Bro, it was like a year ago, man.
It's still crying.
But yeah, what's it called? Yeah, I really appreciate that, man. But let me tell you how I actually did the 40-hour stream because I've always wanted to tell this story. I said a little bit last episode, but for the new viewers, let me tell you. I did absolutely everything in my power to stay awake. I would, what's it called? I would be taking showers. I'd be going outside. What's it called? In fact, I overdosed on coffee. I overdosed on coffee quite a bit too much. Um, I had about at least 8 cups of coffee. What's it called? Every 8 hours, I think I was drinking coffee like every hour. But
Shit.
I was very high. Let's say on caffeine. But yeah, what's it called? There was I did get a lot of guests on the stream though. We played a lot of different games as well. I think the 40-hour stream was no, the 24-hour stream was when I didn't have Minecraft as well. There's a 24-hour stream. What's it called? I was playing the trial version of Minecraft, so I played the demo. It's really interesting. I was like, someone watched my stream. I was like, why are you playing the demo? I was like, because I can't afford it, man. I need to do the stream. But yeah, that's when I didn't have a job. But the whole like point of the stream was to get the camera. I think the whole point of the first one, I don't know what I did with the first streams,
I
man.
think
Like,
it's just a challenge, to be fair.
yeah, surely I got something with it. I don't know what I got with it. But the 40-hour stream was much more impactful because it was 100 quid. 100 quid for 40 hours stream. Um, but yeah, It was a really good deal, and I couldn't,
And
cause
I'm
like I
always a
didn't
man
even.
of my word.
Yeah, man, you don't lie, man. Um, but with the whole 40-hour stream, what's it called? I didn't even know it was gonna happen because like I did the 24-hour stream when you were like, you got 24 hours, now get 48. I was like, what? That was like a whole. So I was like, oh, okay, next year, let's do it next year. So I did it next year. I probably should have done it. What's it called? During the 24-hour stream. That would probably worked better. They could have just gone
What? Just do it right after.
150 quid, you know. But yeah, it won't go. I'm glad I did, to be honest, because then I'll be wearing a mask, which would be 10 times harder.
Yeah, that would have been
But
difficult.
it was really weird because what's good, I'd be having my breakfast on stream, I'd have my lunch on stream, I'd have my dinner on stream. What's good, and I'd just be, sat there watching YouTube with the chat, like I'm living a normal life.
Shower on stream.
Nah,
I'm
no,
joking.
no, 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 no. Never happened, man. That'd be so weird.
You want to do a shower stream?
Maybe on another site, man. Maybe on another site.
Oh, I'm dead. What on
I'm
Kip?
joking. But it's like the whole Doctor Disrespect stuff, like when you went into a toilet, right, and you got banned in Twitch. TwitchCon. But yeah, because you started streaming in the toilet and you got banned. But
What on Twitch?
yeah, yeah, because he streamed in the toilet in TwitchCon, and he got banned.
Wow,
Yeah,
but girls can be streaming in hot tubs and no
doesn't
ban.
make much sense,
Right.
Yeah,
Makes no sense.
double standards.
Aye, aye,
But
aye, Twitch.
yeah, yeah, weird. I do like Twitch, to be honest. I do think there's a good lot of people on Twitch. What's cool with that? I like my chat, to be honest. I think the people in my chat are chill. I think my streams are going well, especially at SuperPhaze now. SuperPhaze, talking about JPhaze, but it reminds me, JPhaze to SuperPhaze. Big reason why I changed from SuperPhaze was actually because I should know this. SuperPhaze is available everywhere, but JPhaze I only had it on YouTube. But SuperPhaze was not available on YouTube. I was like, well, do I want one JPhaze or like everything SuperPhaze, but SuperPhaze 722 on YouTube? So I chose, SuperPhaze because it's original. No one's got it.
Mm.
Uh,
I always
What's it
like
called?
original names.
Yeah, it's
I
just
don't
more
like
cleaner,
adding like
isn't it?
numbers to my name and stuff.
Yeah. And what's it called? It was a fun experience because I don't think I was SuperPhaze on the 40-hour stream, to be honest. No, I was still JPhaze. Because that was Gen 2, wasn't it? Gen 2 was the 40-hour. We never did a 72 for Gen 3 though. That phase, man.
We
Maybe
are not doing 72.
I want to do 72, man. I want to do 72. But yeah, we should do 72, man.
No thanks.
Okay. I gotta find myself a sponsor for that.
Yeah.
I will do it, man. I looked online because I thought, what's good, maybe I could break a record, Because the whole goal of this 40-hour stream was so if I get to a certain number, like maybe like 150, I was like, how hard can it be, So I thought, I thought it was like 160, but then I realized people were doing 300-hour streams. I didn't realize someone got to 300 hours. It's like,
What
I
the
don't think I can
fuck?
get there. I'm not sure if the guy was actually awake or not because they keep saying what's called streams. It's a bit confusing. I believe someone got to two. I believe the highest like proper one is 250, maybe 170 or something. I don't know. So it's around there. But yeah, I look at the streams and they're dead, man. They look on their face, man. And when I was, what was the funny thing is, I was scaring myself with the 40-hour stream as well. And the weird thing is, what's it called, when I was in the stream, right, what's it called, I started to like hallucinated stuff, right? Because it's like you get like it gets quite your effects get quite bad. Like your heart beats quite fast, right? Your blood's like rushing and stuff. And what's it called? So I don't recommend it for the faint-hearted, of course, right? It's not unless like someone offers you £100, you know. But yeah, jokes aside, what's it called? Don't try it at home, right? If you're not, mentally prepared for it. because what's it called? I started hallucinating at like 40 hours or something, right? I started seeing some stuff, man. Bro, it was weird, but like, yeah, it's quite scary, man. Like one of the best I've seen like from random shit, man.
I think the
Like,
longest I've stayed up is 36 hours, and that's when like new Dragon Ball Z game dropped, and I just stayed up for
oh
36
wow,
hours straight and just
you're so
played it.
tired.
I completed the game
Mm.
in a day. That's the first time I've ever like completed the game in one sitting. Never been up that long again though. I passed out, I slept for like a day after that.
That's what I was kind of the same experience with me in the 48-hour stream. To be honest, I think as soon as I completed it, because I didn't stay awake for 48 hours. I stayed awake for a bit longer. I streamed 48 hours, but I didn't stay awake for that long. I stayed
Mm,
awake for 56 hours. Because
shit.
after the 48-hour
Yeah.
stream, I decided to, what's it called, stay up. I didn't feel that tired.
Oh
I don't know
no.
why. Because it was still daylight, you know? So I got my body used to it, you know? I was like, oh. Because I tricked my body into thinking sunlight, what's it called, was normal, you know? That because there's sun's out, what's it called, I can't go to sleep. And that was the weird thing about the stream. You think, what's it called, because I was like 24 hours in, I'd be tired. But the only way I was tired was if, the sun was down, of course. If the sun was down, what's it called, I was wide awake. The sun was shining through me. My curtains, it's really easy for the curtains to shine light on me. But
Oh, do you sit opposite?
I sit I have a room downstairs, so it used to be the dining room. And what's it called? The curtains in here aren't like blackout curtains, of course. They're just like it like reflects the sun quite well. So
Oh, I got
in
blackout
the
curtains.
afternoon, oh, you do.
Yes, I never know what time it is.
I need to get some, to be honest, because they'd be good for the podcast. Because then I don't have to, like, what's it called, choose the stream or like choose my proper lighting, like for a certain time of day. That was always a hassle because like during the 40-hour stream I had to keep changing the lighting like settings, which is quite annoying.
Oh yeah,
I need to
because
get
you
some. They're not too
gradually
bad.
gets darker, gradually get lighter off.
Yeah, and like the camera changes as well, so like brightness. Because what's it called? But yeah, like I was saying, it doesn't. It's not like what's it called? Just because you're 24 hours in, like you're gonna fall asleep. As long as you're also called your. A key trick is to get someone in the call with you as well. Like, I it helped because also there were people in North America, so I could still talk to them whilst people in the UK were asleep. That was a big thing, Because if I didn't, yeah, I might
I've
have been
been
asleep. Yeah,
would have been trouble.
yeah, exactly. Um, food. There's a lot of things you can do though. Stay awake. Like there's of course, like you can't, skip out of food as well. Like if you're skipping out of food, that's gonna make you more tired. You have to like, live like a normal person. Still,
Yeah,
you're on the stream. Like, well, I'd take like a 15-minute break and have like a shower. Like, I had quite a few showers as well because what's it called? When you're just stuck on a chair, like when it was like a summer heat wave as well. Because I remember doing every 48 hour and 24-hour streams during like a big heat wave. That was a big problem.
yeah. It
And
was
my
it
PC
was in
tried to,
summer.
yeah. And the big problem with that was because my PC does not like the sun. Well, it doesn't like the summer. It hates me, man. Especially back then, because my PC wasn't as cooled. I didn't have liquid cooling, I don't think. But now that I'm what's got a job in IT, I've been able to upgrade my PC slightly more. Not too much, but for anyone who doesn't know, I work in IT as an apprentice. But yeah, that was what I was doing like in Gen 3 and Gen 4. And Gen 5, of course. But the 40-hour stream, yeah, I played a bit of Minecraft, played a bit of Apex, a bit of Valorant.
Did
I
you
remember
play the
playing
Squid
Valorant.
Game, Frab game?
Maybe. I don't really remember. Probably. I remember playing everything I had on my PC. I remember downloading almost every game that I could download on Steam. At least every game that I could try.
I do remember being there for a bit, playing some Valorant with
Mm.
you.
Yeah. I remember I dropped it was like a random like hour, like in the morning or something, right? And I played Valorant, but I played unrated, right? And I didn't want to play comp fight because if I played comp fight, I might lose my rank, of course, because I was really tired. But I played
Mm.
oh, what did I play? I also got platinum in the 40-hour stream as well. I went from bronze to plat in that stream.
Wait, which was it the 24-hour one where you was playing Hyperscape?
Yes, that was one. And I realized also cool if I play this game all the time, right? Yeah, I get loads of viewers. I was get like 24 hour to like 40 viewers and stuff. Because it was such. Because here's the thing about playing small games on Twitch, right? When you play small games on Twitch, loads of people will flock over to you because what's it called? The community is so like supportive, especially. A lot of people were very confused while I was wearing a bandana. They kept asking me that. Um, but yeah, and
Because it's
also
such a
it helps as
small
well. Yeah. Yeah, so there's
it's a
less
small.
streamers streaming it, so what's it called? And because I've got a webcam, oh, I go to the top of the list, of course. But yeah, definitely helps. I met a lot of people. I got to I believe I got to Diamond in Hyperscape. Really fun. I made it my main game. I started like creating content on it, of course. Actually, I don't remember creating clips, but I do remember like showing screenshots. I think I wanted to get a little better first, but I kind
I
of
think
wish
the
I did.
best part. Actually, I've got one question. Actually, what the whole like editing process in terms of making clips? What's your favorite part?
Hmm. Making clips is it's quite easy to be honest. I don't really need to do much with I actually don't really enjoy editing for clips to be honest. I just grab them and then put them on there on Instagram and crop them slightly and then post them. Um, but I didn't like the clip system on YouTube. If I'm gonna talk about negatives anyway, the clip system on YouTube was garbage. Couldn't really clip. It's true because what you had to like what's it called. Oh, how do I describe it? Back then, you literally had no way of clipping. You had to like manually clip it like using like other stuff, and you couldn't just get your face cam in there. Like so, you
I
couldn't just
think
get a stream clip. But Twitch was much better at it. So when I was in the 40-hour stream, I couldn't clip anything. It was annoying. And also, the worst thing about the 40-hour stream is I couldn't record. I couldn't save the recording after because
because it was
YouTube
too long.
yeah, YouTube recognizes it as a video. They've downloaded all the analytics for it, but you can't see it on YouTube.
Um,
So yeah, it's on my library of like videos, but I wish I could see it to be honest. I wonder if I know you can go onto Google settings and like download all the stuff. So I wonder if I could try and do that.
maybe.
Yeah, for it was a quite a big stream. I did a few streams because the stream that I've got is on YouTube is 45 hours, but I had to cancel. There was another there's a part 1 and part 2 of course, because my stream crashed a few times. So I got like 3 hours in, if you remember.
As to be expected. Nothing like when you're doing something like streaming for that long. Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely going to be a couple problems, like internet wise.
Yeah, I don't have that problem anymore, luckily, because I've recently upgraded my internet, so that's why I'm back on streaming. I've got 1 gig connection now. I've got my own line as well. So, um, obviously I still live with my parents, of course, right? But I've got a line separate to everyone else, so it's just me having the connection now. It's quite a hefty price just for one person to pay for, but it's good. It's much better. What's it called? Having that connection because I don't have to worry about people taking the bandwidth, of course. You know.
Mm.
Um, and what's it called? My graphics card's a lot stronger now. So if I were to do a 24 or 40-hour stream again, yeah, I'd love to. But I do remember what's it called being glad that it was over. I
Wait, say that again, sorry.
do remember being glad it was over.
Yeah, of course, man. That how long did you sleep for after that? I saw you slept for a day.
Yeah, definitely a day. I mean, I was awake for 56 hours before that, but yeah. Like I got off there, man, and I was like, I spoke to some people in my house, right? And I did occasionally say hi to them. What's it called? When I was going like back and forth, like from the stream and stuff to get food and stuff. But what's it called? It was just nice to sit there, of course, right, and actually like think, oh, this is good to sit on the sofa for once, not on a gaming chair. But yeah, it'd be like that.
It do be like that.
I was just like this on my stream. I was just like baking dinner. But
It was like an
yeah,
all-inclusive stream.
for real, man, literally was. Like it was weird because everyone was watching me as well and stuff. It's a weird experience, right? He's like, "Do you mind?" But obviously they're watching you, of course, because they're entertained. But it's a really weird experience. I did enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. Someone was asking me if I was gonna do any IRL streams. If I was gonna do a 72-hour stream. I might do an IRL stream.
Jeez.
That'd be a cool idea. Maybe I should do a 72-hour stream in a random country. Like spin a wheel, go to a different country, do 72 hours there.
That
That's a bit
sounds crazy,
dangerous.
bro.
That sounds dangerous, actually. It sounds really dangerous.
Very.
Because what's it called? Obviously, what's it called? You're also very irritable when you're sleep deprived as well. It's
Yeah.
not a good idea to go on holiday when you're really irritable.
Yes.
So yeah, like what's it called? To be honest, with the whole Paris holiday, I didn't get much sleep. To be honest, if anyone doesn't know, I went to
Bro,
Paris
what
this
was it
week.
like? Because weren't they like rioting and shit over there?
No, there was like no riots there basically. So it was at least none at the time. I think the police, what's it called, were a lot stronger this time. What's it called? They had put more stuff in place that weekend because there was a lot of events going on at TwitchCon. So I don't blame them, to be honest. But yeah, I think what's it called? There was no events near me, at least, to be honest. I use a tracker called Live AU Map, and Live AU Map is quite a good tracker. The reason why Live AU Map works so well is you can check to see what riots are going on around the world and like what situation. Like a lot of people use it for Ukraine, but for that instance, I use it for France to check the riot situation. It's really good.
Mm.
liveaumap.com. Also known. But yeah, it works. It's pretty good. But yeah, it was fun. I mean, I got a bit sunburnt here, of course, but I got a bit of a tan on my neck now. um, that sunburn,
Okay.
it was nasty sunburn. It was like 32 degrees over there. It was hotter than the UK at least.
I just come back
And
from Turkey. It was like 42 degrees up there.
that's crazy, man. That is crazy. How did you survive, man? 42 degrees.
Yeah,
Mad.
42.
Bet you hated that.
It was hard to adjust to at first, but you get used to it.
Mm,
You just got to drink a
that's fair.
lot of water.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't want to walk in that.
That's it,
Hopefully
man.
there was
Just
AC.
water, water,
There was
water.
no AC in the hotel, by the way.
No, no, in Turkey, AC everywhere.
Yeah, there wasn't there was AC in the French hotel I stayed in, right? But the AC machine broke. It was like broke basically. So
Okay, bro.
the machine was like really rackety, of course, right? It sounded like they were trying to get like a scrap together plane. You know, like one of those like planes that you think this plane isn't safe to get into, of course, right? Um, like this AC, it felt like one of those like rackety planes, like what's it in like films or cartoons, like getting, yeah, that's what it felt like. So I was like, I ain't using that, man. That's worrying, man.
What, you thought it
Also,
was gonna blow up?
never. Alright, one thing I tell you, Sophie. For anyone who does want to go to Europe, never drink the water in Europe because it's less hygienic than what's it called, the water in the UK. Fact. But yeah, you get diarrhea. Yeah, it's true. Um, if you do drink water, make sure you drink bottled water or like water from like a fountain or something, like filtered water. But yeah, don't drink tap water. Did
Mm.
you know that?
Yeah, I
But
got
yeah,
a whole bunch of bottled water when I was in Turkey.
that's fair. Yeah.
I froze it as well. Frozen water.
Oh, that's
Feels
nice,
so
because
good.
especially when it's like hot as well. But yeah, I also went to Disneyland, and yeah, that's where I got sunburnt. I found that the French people don't really like English people, to be honest. I don't think. Don't get me wrong,
Damn.
I like them, right? But they would like shout at me, English, English. I was like, okay, okay, man. But yeah, um, yeah, they're really weird, you know. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the country, man, but they're a bit judgmental.
Yeah, I realized that's just one thing you're gonna have to like, I
Yeah,
guess, prepare for when going abroad because you're in their country.
yeah, you just gotta respect the rules,
They
of
gotta
course.
act. They just gotta act. They're gonna. You just gotta expect them to act differently.
Definitely. Yeah. It was I also walked quite a bit around France as well. It's not like I took much travel, because I took a train and that was it. And then and a plane, of course. The plane, that was my first time flying as well, because I took an EasyJet plane.
Oh shit! Was it?
Yeah, yeah, it was my first time ever on an airplane, man. I was like, oh, this is great.
How
Yeah,
did takeoff go?
at first, what's it called? The takeoff, what's it called? I was a bit scared, because anyone's scared on their first flight, of course. Second flight, I was like, oh, this is amazing, man. Let's buy some food, It feels so cool, man. But yeah, I was just buying stuff on the second flight, and in the Paris airport, I got this Paris cap. But yeah,
The
um,
most conspicuous, totally not a disguise cap
I
ever.
really like the cap. I really do.
No, the cap is nice. It's just it reminds me of those caps
Yeah,
where
yeah,
you put on the sunglasses and that's it. You just
yeah.
the perfect disguise.
It goes well with I got a really good I got charger, man.
Off to get another souvenir.
I got this really nice coat that goes above this hat. I think not super. Yeah, it's just
Oh, I got a red one of that.
man. I love this brand.
Yeah, same.
At work recommend. Oh wow, these are amazing.
Yeah.
I am someone who doesn't like to buy like just a random color. I like to buy what's called like something that has patterns on it. I like pattern clothes. I
You
don't think
like
pattern clothes
patterns.
work with everything, but the mountains on this, because this was like I believe this was like an anniversary collection item or something.
Oh,
Celebrate success or something. But yeah, and also I have a bit of Norwegian as well in my DNA. So yeah, ancestry.com. So yeah,
I'm
that's a fun
okay.
fact. Yeah, I'm also Scottish as well. But yeah, the more you know, I didn't even know that until like a few years ago. But I do think what's it called, having the whole Team Oasis Gen 2 really changed who I was as a person. Especially what's it called, I went to work as well, because I started to do a lot of things differently, which led to me, making Team Oasis more successful. Like with Blue Skirmish, I had a very different approach, and I do think it helped with that as well. I was a lot more patient. Um, Blue Skirmish, when it doesn't know, was a tournament. Is a tournament. Of Valorant in the EU scene, the EMEA scene actually, Europe, Middle East, and Africa. That's what EMEA stands for. And it was, yeah, it was a really good scene to branch out into, and a really good industry. Um, Yalo got me involved with the whole scene, and yeah, I did enjoy it more than the Team Oasis Gen 2 and Gen 3, of course. I did miss Team Oasis Gen 3 because I thought, the whole time I was like, I miss it, but now looking back to what's it called, I prefer Blue Skirmish a lot more. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not dissing like Team Oasis or anything, but Blue Skirmish, what's it called, is it's the older, more successful, it's the younger, more successful brother. I have to say, like it does so much better. I don't know why, but yeah, like the branding's top notch. What's it called, the community's amazing, and it's going places. I mean, there's the podcast, to be honest. The podcast and the Blue Skirmish go hand in hand, I think. But yeah, it's like a double-bladed weapon, basically. But it is the podcast on one end, skirmish on the other. And I created in October. It was a very quick growth. I got Twitch affiliate in 2 months. Yeah, gained
That's
about 10 followers every stream. About 30 viewers, like 15 to 30 viewers stream. We've hit 42 at one point as well.
what was the peak?
43, I think. Yeah, 43. Quite a bit. 43 viewers. That's when we got some big teams as well. It really depends on the viewers for Blue Skirmish. It really depends on like what teams are joining the tournament, because it's normally the community coming to support the team.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think I'm working on changing that so I can make it so that people join the stream whenever. So I really have a very community focused approach now. We have a new caster, especially Dolphy Vix. They will be should see them next Sunday. Yeah, she will be taken over from Diallo as the new caster. Yeah, things are changing, and there's a new
Okay.
tournament this Sunday as well called Great White Skirmish. Because there's a dolphin, of course, right, for Blue Skirmish, and I thought, like Great White Sharks, of course. And in the Oasis Leisure Center, right, yeah,
No
little
way.
slide called Great White.
No way.
Yeah, I thought about this. That's the point,
It's another reference.
I know, it's crazy. I'm also working on another tournament brand, as well. Maybe next year. On Twitter, there's a little thing about like, Oasis timeline, and you know what's about? Oasis BR, it's called. Oh, it's an Oasis tournament
Oasis
brand.
BR.
Yeah, do you know what it stands for?
Battle Royale.
Exactly. I actually thought of this during Gen 2 as well. I got the brand at during Gen. I got a lot of brand ats during Gen 2. One of them was Tropicscope, and a lot of people were like, oh, what's it called? A lot of people didn't think it would like actually show up. Tropicscope's one of those brands that just randomly appeared. Like you didn't think you'd see it again, but it just appeared. It got Disney retcon that came back. Somehow Palpatine
Disney
returned.
record.
But yeah.
Oh my days.
But it came back. That's the cool thing about having multiple brands out, because even if I don't use it, I can always reuse the assets in the future. That's the cool thing about having it. All these brands, right? Like Dusk XYZ. You want to tell these people about Dusk XYZ? What it's about?
I forgot.
Whoa, what? You forgot? Come on, Dusk
For-
XYZ.
I forgot, man.
Now come on, man. The whole plan. Come on. It's a group. Right, yeah?
Bro, I clean forgot.
Nah, come on, man. Come on.
I know who. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You know
see, you
what?
got it
I
now. You
remember.
got it
Yeah,
now.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
It's the group, like the trip,
yeah,
basically.
traveling content group.
Yeah, I was like, that's like I know the name, I forgot. Yeah, yeah. It's the traveling group basically. We go different countries, basically lads on tour.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
pretty much.
We were supposed to go to France, but one by one, everybody
Except me.
vanished. Uh couldn't get time off work.
Yeah, that's fine, man.
And
But hopefully we lock down what's called
the
the
next
one in
one, we're
October.
talking, yeah, October. You said the 20th to the 23rd, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, so
It's probably Iceland. I mean, I want to go to Spain, but I'm thinking of Iceland
we got
because
Reykjavik.
exactly.
Okay.
Because what's it called? I want to go to the Blue Lagoon. I think the scenery is really cool in Iceland.
Yeah, Blue Lagoon. That is definitely a place I'd like to go to as well. One point.
Yeah, it's amazing. Amazing, like it's so good.
Hope it's not cold.
Nah, it's like geothermal pool, isn't it? It's like
Was it a hot spring?
yeah, it's a hot spring.
Oh,
Yeah, it's really
okay.
nice. It's also really good for your skin as well. It's amazing for your skin.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got like health proper something. Yeah.
I know this is completely unrelated, right? But you did like you voted for me on all of your accounts.
No. But I got the Team Oasis members right. Yeah. Right, if anyone just know, right, Ace is trying to bribe me, right, to get him to vote for me or his cuz, right. Right, I didn't do that. Okay, I did the real way. Okay. If anyone doesn't know, so I don't want
No,
people like saying, "Oh, you faked it." He actually didn't. So I ran
no,
in the group chat and told him support the homie, right, and all the Team Oasis members basically voted for him.
bro.
But yeah.
I need the rest of those accounts as well, yeah? Okay, I'll slide you a call like
No.
5 or something.
Are you winning still? Are you winning?
I am. I am in the lead still.
Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome, bro. I'm
I've got
carrying you.
I've got 4 hours left. It's the most stressful 4 hours. I'm not going to sleep
Bro, it's
tonight,
just a
bro.
Twitter poll. It's just a Twitter poll, man.
It's,
What do you
it's
get? Bragging rights?
basically yes.
Are you taking the? I mean, you know, I'm sure. I'm
You
sure it's a great thing. You know.
you get acknowledged. You get acknowledged as
Oh my.
get acknowledged as him basically.
Well, so when you win, you can be like, I'm him.
Essentially, that is basically it. It's just a really big I'm him tournament.
Wow.
It's to be honest, I don't really care about winning or losing. It's just fun to like
Yeah, that's fair.
like when you're on like when you're trying to fight for something or win for something, like the actual challenge itself is fun and interacting with people and be like, yo, vote for me and stuff like it's just fun.
Yeah, definitely.
But I do want to win. Alright, let that be. I want to win. I'm gonna win, Jay. And you're gonna help me with all of those accounts.
I don't think I need to. I think you're gonna win anyway. Believe in
Alright,
yourself, man.
we'll save the accounts. If he starts catching up, boom, we just
It's so
inj
dirty,
inj
bro. It's so that's horrible.
it's a tactic, alright? It's all
You know,
about
this
how
is
you
coming out tomorrow,
market.
right? You know, this is coming out tomorrow.
No, it's gonna be done in 4 hours.
Everyone will know how much of a fraud you are. Nah, I'm messing
It's
with
alright, man. I've been on Fraud Watch for months now. Everybody knows.
you.
Alright.
It's like what's it called when you pretend to be a girl on the Twitter.
We're not gonna talk about that.
I saw right through that. I was like, bro, what the hell's going on, man? I was
You
like,
know, it
that's
worked.
Ace. Didn't work for me. Didn't work for me, man. But
It
it worked for
actually
some people.
worked. Like,
That is really
no, as in
worrying.
like
That is
I
actually really
gained
worrying.
I gained so many followers because of that.
That is so worrying that it actually worked.
I got like 100 followers in a day.
Crazy.
I know. After that, I felt kind of bad, so I changed it back after like a week. Nobody called me
Yeah.
up for it though. Nobody's like, "Hey, I only followed you because you was a girl." That was hilarious. Anyways, yeah, we got. Whoa. Okay. Hold on.
We need to do the 3 questions. We need to do the
The
three
three
questions.
questions. What's the last question? Do I have any more for you?
Yeah, we are 2 hours into the podcast.
I think I'll ask you everything. To be fair, streaming, esports, the origins of Oasis.
Yeah, I think you've got most of the stuff done.
Man, I'm pretty much gonna ask you about your life now. Where did you grow up? You know what I'm saying? What's everything? Autobiography.
I mean, we can finish the future. Future part.
Yeah, that'd be a good point actually. The future of Oasis. What do you see in the future of Oasis?
More brands. You know, maybe a clothing brand in the future. Love to do a clothing brand.
Mm.
I've got an at. I've got a handle, so I've got all the ats and I've got all the handles.
So if you leak it, it's not gonna get stolen.
Yeah, but what's it called? Someone might get the YouTube handle. I don't have the YouTube handle yet. So
Damn it! I want to give them something, a leak.
let's just say it's something to do with polar bears. Yeah.
Polar bears, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Oasis Arctic. Who knows?
No, it would be Oasis Arctic because something to do with polar. Yeah.
Next
Fuck it.
Friday.
Actually, come on. Polar Flow.
Polar Flow. Okay.
What it's called.
Sounds nice.
Arctic attire. Yeah. And what basically the whole project of that is basically go around what's it called? We basically offer a merchandise platform for other creators. Basically, they come on what's it called? We advertise their merch as well. And yeah. and what's it called? They have to pay the fees for Shopify. Of course, we just handle that. And as long as we take a small cut, when they make a profit, of course, yeah, that'd be the plan. What's it called? It'd be, I think it'd be one of the more better brands, to be honest. It would definitely be Tropicscope level. Tropicscope has got a big future. Yeah, for anyone just in Tropicscope is an esports news platform. But I think we should talk about the future of me now. In terms of SuperPhaze streaming. So
Mm.
right now, I'm currently a Minecraft streamer. It's a bit out of character, I know. I said I wouldn't become a Minecraft streamer, but here I am. I said this ages ago, but Minecraft's the win, to be honest. I'm getting a decent amount of viewers nowadays. I'm getting some new people in the chat all the time. It's a good way to discover new viewers and reach out to people on the network. Got my own little server. I've installed a lot of mods on the game. I've always been looking for a sandbox game to stream, to be honest, because cool thing about FPS games is you have to focus all the time, but cool thing about a sandbox game is you have to focus 24/7.
Yeah.
That's the great thing about it. And Valorant was good. Me, I was trying to talk to the chat 24/7. But yeah, like, don't get me wrong, I like Valorant. I will probably return to Valorant again. Maybe grind out the game. I reckon I could do it. I want to get Radiant, eventually. Yeah. Um, maybe one day we can do that. Maybe like a 24-hour stream to Radiant. I don't know, let's do it. We could try it, man. Bronze to Iron stream.
When you play Minecraft Valorant,
Bruh. Minecraft Fortnite.
they
That's
have
a real
that.
thing. That's a real thing. Yeah. Played it. It's actually not. It's not too bad, to be honest. You land on the parachutes, right? You land on the building, you get the guns, man. It's quite fun actually. But yeah, that's the plan. What's it called? I'm back on Twitch now. I've left YouTube. I like YouTube. I would be obviously maybe promote some content in the future. But for Twitch in the future, I want to focus on live streaming there. Same thing for Blue Skirmish, unless Twitch messes up again. But we will see. Um, don't quote me. But yeah, what's it called? The 3 questions for Ace now. So it's called. What made you want to make a anime Twitter? Because it's a really interesting brand aspect for you. I really like to see your growth. It's been amazing. You million followers now already. Tell me, yeah.
um. Alright. Well, I guess the whole thought process behind it was
Mm-hmm.
in secondary school. You know what I'm saying? At least when I was in secondary school, anime wasn't that big of a thing. Like, it was one of those ones. Like, it was like a secret club. Like, you don't talk about it
Yeah,
unless you know about it.
yeah.
So after, and then I went college as well, and I just didn't really have anybody to talk to in terms of like anime stuff.
Yeah,
Like, I didn't really have friends. Like, I had friends, but not friends who would watch anime the same way I would. So after the whole downfall of like, what's it? After the whole downfall of Oasis,
Gen 2.
I was like, I mean, I have this Twitter account here. I do actually like, because I did have my own personal one, but that account was dead, and I wanted to start afresh. So I was like, you know what? I'll start afresh on this account. So
It's fair.
yeah, I was like, fuck it, let me just use this account. Ace was or my Ace name when I made because obviously this name came before the Twitter account, but it's like it was an anime reference anyways to One Piece character. So I was like, let me just make the anime Twitter account and just connect with people who also think and talk about anime. And it's kind of funny on here sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. You've probably seen a bit of it because I know your timeline is mainly like gaming related, but every
No,
now and then,
I've got notice on for you.
bro.
Well, bro, of course, man. Why wouldn't I?
Oh, oh God. That means you be seeing everything I tweet. Oh my God.
Yes, man. Some of it, man,
Bro.
is a bit too much. That's why I'm like, Jesse, what the fuck are you talking about? But yeah, man, I see everything, man. I don't always comment, but yeah, I see it all, man. It's 'cause I
Oh
try
my
to like them,
God.
man. But yeah.
No, it's cool. I don't expect you to, obviously, isn't some of the shit you're not gonna understand it. Like, I wouldn't expect you to like something if I
Yeah,
talk
so
about like a
yeah,
certain anime you've never watched in your life. Like, I'm not
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
expect you to comment on that. But oh my god, I didn't know you had my noties on.
Of course, man. Why wouldn't I?
Jeez. Oh jeez.
But yeah, what's it called? What was I saying? What was I saying?
Ask me about
The
anime
next
Twitter.
question. The next question.
Oh, next question. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, see, we talked about your anime Twitter, right, and how what's it called, good and stuff, and how like it, it comes from like a story, It's a very emotional story. What's it called? How what's it called? You create a culture, a community. I really respect that, It's nice.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, what's it called? Because anime is quite big nowadays and stuff, and it's cool that you what's it called. It's a good brand, but you could probably become a content creator using that growth. Do you ever think, you could see yourself becoming a content creator in the future? Maybe making some anime YouTube videos, like talking about anime.
I've thought about it. I
I think that'd be really
have,
cool.
but like I said, it's just that consistency thing. I just don't think I'll be consistent with it like that, and a lot of people
Yeah.
probably would get annoyed. You know what I mean?
Why?
I just don't want to I just don't want to disappoint people because, like,
You
they
won't
be
disappoint
expecting
them.
certain things, or I don't know. I just
Yeah,
don't
but
want to
just make a
disappoint
disclaimer.
anyone.
Make a disclaimer when you do videos. Say, oh, what's it called? I'm not gonna be on it 24/7, right? But I'll make a video like every so often. Yeah.
I guess.
I also got this really
Hmm.
cool corny in Disneyland. I just noticed this on my desk.
Oh no, but we should just nickname the title of this souvenirs. It looks really cool though.
It's like one of the.
Oh, you kept it.
Yep. Yeah, you put the coins in the machine, right? Yeah,
Mm.
and it turns into like a little souvenir coin. Those kind of things.
Oh,
Yeah, you can use your cards as well in there. Instead,
oh
it's actually
shit.
quite good. I also got So you ever watched Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yes,
So the Aztec gold they put in the treasure chest, right? To what's it called? Turn everyone
I
into skeletons.
watched it. I watched it maybe 13 years ago. I don't remember it.
So you don't remember what's it called? How they all turn into skeletons, of course.
Nope.
Um, you don't remember the necklace, the whole MacGuffin.
Nope.
Okay, well this
Literally,
is
I
the
watched it when I was like a kid.
this is literally the MacGuffin that Pirates of the Caribbean 1. And basically it's the thing that you basically drop while everyone turns to skeletons basically. It's the thing that basically is the whole driving factor of the film. Yeah, it's on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride I got it from. Yeah. Quite nice. I also went on the few rides like the Indiana Jones ride. Um yeah,
Did you watch the
that
film?
yeah. I know not the new one, not the new one. I need to see the new one.
Yeah, that's what I meant. The new film, not the old ones.
I've got the t-shirt. I've got the t-shirt from the ride. I'm gonna wear that to the film. But yeah.
Wait, oh, I need to watch Oppenheimer as well and Barbie.
Barbenheimer. That's what they're
What are
calling
you
it.
gonna watch first?
I wanna watch Oppenheimer, but I might just wait till it, comes out digitally.
Nah, I need to see. I need to see this nuke. I need to feel this nuke. I
Bruh,
can't watch it digitally.
that's fair enough. I need to see. I want to see the 50 Indiana Jones before it gets out of cinemas. I've just seen the Transformers film. I really enjoyed
I
that.
might
The
watch that.
the CGI wasn't the best at the end for the when what's it called, the main character puts on like a suit, right?
Mm.
Yeah,
What
it's a
about the
bit
Flash?
weird. I really enjoyed the Flash film. Like
So did I. I liked it. I don't care what anyone said.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are too negative nowadays about films. You know,
Like,
I
don't get me wrong. There's some certain parts of it that's straight dog shit, but it's not
yeah, it's not as
overall a
bad.
bad film.
Yeah, the story's good as well. It's like based on Flashpoint. Like I like the Flashpoint story as well.
Yeah,
I think it's quite emotional to be honest. You know, the things
it
with
is.
his mum as well. It's like really sad to see.
The only thing that just doesn't make sense is that the whole point of Flashpoint is like Reverse Flash is supposed to be in the story and
Problem is
Reverse Flash.
Reverse Flash was never set up. That's the problem
Yeah,
in
no.
DC universe. That was the biggest
Even
mistake.
though the whole point of Reverse Flash, I mean, the whole point of Flash is that Reverse Flash is supposed to exist. Like, they cannot exist without like each other.
Oh, okay. I don't know too much about the Flash to be honest.
Yeah, no, I'm a bit of a nerd on that one. Like,
I'm more of a Marvel
was
fan.
Reverse Flash? He tried taking away Flash's powers, but then he realized if he takes away Flash's powers, he will never exist. Like, he will literally just not exist, like die. So he realized the most I can do is just
Yeah.
torment him in every way, shape, possible. So he pushed him down the stairs. Anytime Barry made a friend, he just killed a friend.
Wow.
Anytime anything good was about to happen to Barry, Reverse Flash will stop it from happening. Like, he is the biggest hater in fiction. Nobody
Why does he
hates
stop him? Why does he stop him? Why is he after him?
because he's jealous of Barry. Like,
Isn't he from the future
he,
though?
yes.
How does that work? Why is he?
So basically, he's from the future where like everyone's genetically modified
Yeah.
and there's no crime and stuff. And like he's really, really obsessed with the Flash, and he's obsessed with like super speed. So he was like studying the Speed Force, basically the stuff that gives Flash his powers. So he like studies it, and eventually, after some ups and downs in his life, he finally unlocks the secret to the Speed Force, and he finds like Barry's Flash suit, and he puts it on and starts like pretending to be the Flash, basically. So he travels like back in time, right, and gets beaten up by the Flash. And that shit drives him insane. He's like, what the fuck, man? Like, I'm supposed to be your biggest hero and you just fucking beat me up. So he travels like back to the future. And in the future now, there's like some mural in the Flash Museum. And it's like, oh, the Flash's biggest enemy. And it says his name. And he's like, oh, I'm supposed to be his biggest enemy. Fine, I'll be his biggest enemy. I'll be Reverse Flash. And that's his origin story.
That's really weird.
It is very weird, yeah. He's just a hater. That's quite literally it. He's just a hater. A salty hater. He's like Glowsy in a way, you know?
Reverse SuperPhaze.
Reverse SuperPhaze. Bro just
Phase.
constantly hates.
Yeah, Rose became a bit strange. Right, he became like a self-improvement YouTuber. But yeah, um, he became this really red pill guy. Yeah, you can know how that went. But yeah, it was very strange. I mean, don't get me wrong. I agree with self-improvement, but I don't agree with like the message a lot of people promote. I think it's a bit weird. Um, I think it's good to improve your looks. I think it's good to improve what's it called, like go to the gym, etc. I think it's just common sense. But I think it gets weird what's it called when people start saying the moon landing was fake. I think that's just
What, the
stupid.
moon landing was fake?
There's people who like promote that and stuff and go, oh, you can't make
Oh,
this stupid
yeah.
thing. Yeah, it's stupid. Oh, they
Apollo
go,
11 was staged.
or they say, oh, the Earth is flat. Also, they're like, global warming doesn't exist. Like, bro, it's getting hot every year, man.
No, the Earth is flat. That one is genuinely like, bro, come on now.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. Time to go back to year 2.
Like,
Yeah.
just stand out in the ocean and just tell me, and just look and tell me. Because if the Earth was flat, right, and I stood at like the Atlantic Ocean.
Yo. Have you ever seen Inside Job?
Inside Job.
It's
What,
a
like the
TV show, right? Yeah. It's like Rick and Morty, right? It's got this female protagonist, right? Yeah, and basically it's all about what's it called if all of Earth's if all of like all the conspiracy theories were true, like the Earth is basically run by like a shadow government. It's really cool. It's like cartoon
Nice.
and everything, right? It's like it's adult like show. It's got like 2 seasons. Netflix cancelled the third season, but it's
Um,
really well done. I've been watching it for the past few days now. It's actually really good. I recommend it. Inside Job. Yeah, good film. Good TV show. Got 2 seasons right now. Yeah,
sounds good.
Netflix cancelled season 3 sadly. Yeah, you should watch it. It's really good.
All right then.
They have
Was
like
it
loads of like celebrities, but yeah.
what's it called again? Inside Out.
Inside Job. Inside Job.
Oh,
Yeah,
Inside Job.
yeah. It's really good.
Another side note. The new Spider-Man trailer dropped for the game.
Ooh, what Spider-Man 2?
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm pre-ordering that and the PS5. I'm getting everything.
This is a long ass podcast, man.
This is the longest one.
2 hours and 20 minutes.
Damn. Well, I don't know. You got anything else left to ask me?
I want to mention the whole superior JPhaze, and I do have the third question. But
Okay.
yeah. So the third question is, what's it called? Hmm. 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 Um, do you see yourself investing time in like becoming a professional Valorant player? Because I've seen you like get committed to games before, but I never see you like fully commit to them. Will you ever like think about like what's it called? Fully like commit to like what's it called becoming like good at one game, or will you like always bounce back to different games?
Honestly, only reason I haven't fully committed to any game is just because
I'm
I can't play a game by myself. Like
That's fair.
I need to do it with somebody. Like I know it sounds really weird, but it's like for me, a game like Valorant, I can't play that game alone by myself for
Yeah.
too long.
Well, I'm always
Like
here, man. I'm always here. I want to get to Radiant, Bronze to Iron stream, man. Come, let's do it.
bronze to iron,
Yeah, man. We're speed run.
bronze to iron. You want to
Yeah,
go
man.
from bronze down to iron?
Bronze to plastic. Yeah.
uh, well, I mean, for me, it's like let's say we did have that EU Valorant team. I'd be on that every day.
We
I'd
don't
be
even need to do that. We could just do it as a duo. I reckon we could get quite far.
we used to, man. It's just I think what happened is that we both went work, schedules changed, and then
Yeah,
that stuff.
definitely.
But
That's
like,
true.
I basically play Valorant like every day now. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm down to play it, man.
I'm back
Down.
on the
I
Valorant.
mean,
I'm like I told you after this podcast, I'm playing Valorant.
I can't play, man. I got work tomorrow, man.
Oh, you going bed? Oh
It's
shit,
already late for me right now.
is it?
But yeah,
Yeah, it's about to be 12.
I mean, it's good to sleep soon. Um, but yeah, what's it called? What was I gonna say? Let's end it on this note. Superior JPhaze. Technically, Superior JPhaze actually stands for SuperPhaze. It's my
Oh,
secret way of hiding it, but yeah. I mean,
it makes sense. Yeah,
technically it's not. Technically it means superior phase. But yeah, it also means superphase. Also means supernova. But yeah, it's my cool way of saying supernova. I'm saying supernova. You know, 'cause supernova.
supernova.
It's kind of overused, you know. Like novas are kind of overused, so I didn't want to use it.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's true.
So I made super. But yeah, superphase comes from superior. Phase is just an older version of it, and it was a less egotistical way of calling myself that. And what's it called? I got tired of people saying, "Oh, that's cool. He thinks he's got a superior complex." The whole point, the reason why I named myself Superior JPhaze, what's it called, was because it's all about being the best version of myself, right? Yeah, the superior version of myself, not superior version of someone else, but myself. And I think that's quite important. That's like what it's talking about self improvement. Um, I've made multiple improvements in my life this year since Gen 2. I've improved my mental health, which is helped with running a team. I've what's it called gone to the gym. I used to be scared of dogs, right? But I fixed that as well. Get my driving licenses done. Went on a holiday on my own. I'm doing a lot of things. I'm stepping out of my comfort zone quite a lot more now. I mean, I'm getting into boxing. I know I did it a bit in Gen 2, but I wasn't really, learning that much. Yeah, as you can see, I can't really show you on the camera, but in other episodes, right, there is a boxing bag, like literally right there, and there's a pull-up bar behind me. So I got a full setup now. But
Mm.
yeah, what's it called? It's all about being the superior version of being the best version of myself, really. It was never about what's it called, being better than other people, which is what people
Yeah,
never understood.
like I was saying, like because they didn't like you, they
They
just
made
saw
stuff up.
anything you
Yeah.
did. Like,
Hmm.
and honestly, I thought the whole superior facing was for like superior Iron Man.
It
So,
was. It was, man. I thought it was. I mean, Superior Iron Man was a bad guy to be honest, so it's kind of a bit. Yeah. I mean, technically, they did view me as a bad guy, so technically, I did become Superior Iron Man. To be honest.
yeah, you
Um.
a self-fulfilled prophecy.
Yeah, man. You get what you wish for, eh?
Yeah, you became the villain, but
Hmm.
a misunderstood villain.
Exactly. I was the anti-hero. I still am the anti-hero. Okay.
Sometimes anti-heroes are the best. Deadpool.
For real. And SuperPhaze. Yeah, yeah. Jokes
Super
aside.
face.
Yeah, man. Coming to cinemas. March 2024 for 72 hours stream. Yeah.
Huh? Huh?
What? Us? What? Nothing.
Huh? Yeah.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
72 hours stream, man. I'm gonna do one anyway.
That's not canon.
Huh? That is
Listen,
canon.
this
It's a canon
no, it's not.
event.
That's not
It's
canon.
part of my canon event. Miguel said so. Okay, he said so. Okay, he told me so.
Nah, I'm gonna do things my own way.
That was good, man. That was actually really good. Make some run for it. You have no idea what you're doing. But yeah, man. That was a
Yeah.
really good film. I really enjoyed that film. The only reason why I don't like about the film was because it was too anticlimactic. Um,
Hey man, I was gassed the whole way through, man. That ending with Miles, and I'm
yeah.
like, oh shit,
I thought
oh
I thought it
shit.
was I thought it was an amazing film, but I felt like was got a little underwhelmed as well at the same time because I didn't feel like there was a much impact, because like it was just a setup film.
I get why people say that. They thought Spot would have been like defeated or Miguel would have been like defeated or anything, but like both the antagonists are still, you know,
Yeah, they
out there.
and like it's just a bit worrying, because what's called
It
they
is a
delayed it by a
setup.
few
Yeah,
years. But yeah,
it's a setup film.
they've also
Honestly,
delayed it as well.
I feel like it's necessary. I feel like it's
Mm,
100% necessary. The next
same.
film is gonna slap so hard, everyone's just gonna forget. Because what's gonna happen is, right, because it's our first viewing, we're gonna really notice that waiting time. When you watch all three films back to back to back,
Oh,
is going to the second film is gonna increase in quality because you have the third film
true.
there already for you. So you can just watch it back to back to back. Instead of us where we have
It's
to
just a long
wait.
wait, because that got
That's it.
the third one got delayed.
'Cause I promise you, if let's say they released, the first film and then they released the second film like a day after, nobody would be complaining that the second film is a setup film. They'd be like, "Oh, this film is so great! This film is so great!" Because that's the only complaint. It's a setup film. But other than that, it's a 10 out of 10 movie.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. Just like this podcast.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming on, man. Really did appreciate the interview, man.
No
Um,
worries. We've been meaning to do this for a while, anyways.
yeah, I think we were meant to do it last year or something. I don't know.
It's meant to be
When
like
did we?
season finale, I think.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. But we finally did it anyway, which I'm quite happy about.
Yeah.
So, you know, It's cool, man. It's great. I mean, I prefer it this way because we've got more questions. To be honest, and we made it 2 hours long.
But
I
to
wonder
be
if that's
fair though, it's cause it's us, you know what I mean? Like we have a lot to talk
yeah,
about.
true. Like 3 years, man. 3 years of talk. Yeah.
So I come on in another 3 years, do another catch up.
Sure. Why not, man?
I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding.
Oh, come on. Yeah, you never know.
I don't have to wait 3 years.
Yeah, but there's more information. You know what I'm
That
saying?
is true. One big
6 hour,
free.
72-hour podcast. Podcast that's
Okay,
72 hours
let's
long.
not get out of it now.
That'd be quite a cool idea. Finally made it,
My
man.
my voice would be dead.
My
I could
voice
do
was already dead anyway.
yeah, I don't know
Hay
how you
fever,
could
man.
talk for 48 hours. That is long.
This is true. It was a
My
really good
body will
podcast,
just
though.
yeah, it was. I
I
agree.
felt like it was more. It was less of a what's it called? It was more like a conversation than an interview, which is I did quite enjoy it, to be honest. I did kind of prefer that kind of approach.
Mhm. Makes it more natural.
Yeah, yeah, I do like it when it's more natural, to be honest. It's quite a hard thing to achieve as well, but for most guests, to be honest, because I don't really know them as much. But with you,
Yeah,
it
it's
was a lot
true.
easier. But yeah,
That's the perks.
mm,
Being an OG
it's true, man. 3 years, man.
co-founder. I could even nah, yeah, co-founder. Co-founder.
Co-founder of Dusk, man. I'll give you that.
Yeah, nah, Oasis, that's all on you, bro.
Well, you've been a good friend, and a good, mentor, I guess, Like, you've helped me and you were, the one who stayed around.
I'm
So,
always gonna be here, man. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and I appreciate it, man. Like the real one, You're the real one. Yeah. And with that, good note, I think it's time to end the episode.
Hey,
That was the host, of the show, Mr. Ace. Ace, where can we find you?
you can find me on Twitter, ASSCE_. Go and vote for me.
Uh, Bro, it's gonna be
I
uploaded on Friday.
yeah, these tournaments are gonna be going on for the next
Oh
couple days.
my. No, no more.
If I win this, they're not gonna hear it on the same day. Like today's the 20th, right? So,
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
but like, let's because there's multiple rounds. If I still win by the time this drops and I've won, they still need to go vote for me. If not, don't worry, we tried. But if I'm still in, go to ASSCE_. Go to my most recent post and vote for me to win.
We will. We will.
This is it. I'm taking
Oasis
this
Army.
seriously.
Oasis to the moon. Ace to the moon, okay? Ace to the moon, okay? Let's do this.
But other than that, yeah, thanks guys, for being here,
Hmm.
listening to our 3 year discourse relationship.
Yeah.
Not like that, but
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
I've still yet to meet you in person.
Yeah, man. What's it called? We could always go to GSCon. Fun.
No, because then work will be like, "Hi, you're taking a piss. Like, are you going off every month?"
Oh yeah, true, true, true. October then, October.
It
October
depends,
ski
though.
trip.
It honestly, like, because sometimes they give me days off, sometimes they don't. Let's say it falls on a day where my days are off. We're cooling, like we can go out
Yeah. Make sure
without.
just make sure to book the day, of course.
Yes, I need to go. I want to double confirm with
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
my
October
girl as
the
well.
um October the 20th to 23rd, I believe. Yeah.
Cool, yeah. All right then.
Well, on that note, that was Ace, ASSCE_ on Twitter. Um, he posts some good anime posts. You should check him out. And that was me, the guest for tonight, SuperPhaze. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next month with another Oasis podcast.
Take
Thanks for
care.
watching.